If somebody would have handed him a Ponsagant or a Henry's Mountain deer tag and traded him for his desert sheep tag, he would have done it. He is sick and twisted in the head. The sheep's way cooler.
I'm going to be awesome. The sheep is way cooler for sure, but I mean, a Ponsagant deer tag.
That would be a
place is magical.
to have.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the only word for it is magical.
Yeah. Britt, I know you'd pick a 200-inch mule deer.
Oh,
Tyler's basically shot a 200-inch mule deer. But are you a mule deer or an elk guy?
Half a 200-inch mule deer.
Yeah, technically it's only 100 inches, so now you still have to get it.
Yeah, you're halfway there.
We're here at Wild Arrow, right in the middle of the shop, after hours, of course. Doing the Vitals podcast brought to you by Hunt Wars, and we have Mark McEwen
Mark McEwen.
as our guest, the archery pro himself.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's true. Everyone comes here, they think they want to talk to Jeremiah. Jeremiah asks Mark if he's doing it right. That's how this works.
I pretty much just skip everybody and go right to Mark. Like, Mark, I got problems.
You have problems.
Yeah. Some of those problems Mark is not qualified to fix. But if it involves his bow, Mark can get it done.
Mark can do anything.
We could probably figure it out.
Yeah, so we're going to talk all about archery. Hopefully all the burning questions you guys have wondered about veins and arrows and bow setups. And then we're going to talk about how lucky of a person Mark is when it comes to tags and hunts. And
we're going to state this now. We're not going to talk units, but we can talk species for sure.
You don't want to pull up Brady and be like, I was in the Western United States, and that's all you're going to give?
Yeah. We're not talking units. I'm going to keep my streak going.
We don't have to talk units.
We want to talk units.
We won't ask. We will talk species, and we'll talk how many times.
For sure.
I'm good at that.
All right.
Okay. We're pretty lucky.
Before we get started, we got a little gift for you, Mark.
Oh, hey, check that out.
You rep some Hunt Wars swag.
And then some Hunt Wars, we got some stickers for you too. So
perfect.
I want to start you off with that.
We can put those on the bow case.
There you go.
I like it.
There you go.
Is that like your end?
You should see my SKB bow case. It is chock full of stickers, and a lot of people have taken it across the country. You can borrow it, but there's one rule: you have to put a sticker on it from wherever you're going.
That's fair.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
So it's been all over. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Right on. Okay, well, let's jump into it.
All right.
Vein configuration. We're going to cover this in depth because a lot of people like to like the 4 fletch versus 3 fletch. We want to know what you're running and then why you would specifically run maybe a 3 versus a 4 and what situations we would do that in.
Yeah, so here's the problem for me. It changes every other day. So I literally last night and this morning, I was refletching arrows on different arrows because I'm kind of all over the board. Now, partially, hunt results are out in Utah, so we kind of have an idea what we're running.
Yeah.
I got an antelope tag again. So my whole thing behind this is without a doubt it's going to be a mechanical broadhead. So now I got to also think we're going to prepare for a long shot. So antelope are already cagey creatures. I'm not convinced I'm going to hunt one over water. It's not really my thing because I get extremely bored. So ideally, we want to do a little bit of spot and stock. So that also comes with potentially longer shots. But then if we are going to sit over water, they're even more cagey. So now I need something that's going to be really quiet. So what I'm looking for is something low profile, pretty stiff, that's going to create less noise and flutter in the air, but still have enough vein on the back of it to control the broadhead that I'm going to put on the front of it.
Yeah.
So there's kind of a lot with that. Now, like right now, what I fletched up was a flex fletch 225 and a 4 fletch I got 2 different setups in it. One with a lot of helical and one with not as much. And both of these are in a 4 fletch. It's a really small vein. Broadhead, I'm kind of all over the board right now what I'm going to run. It's either going to be a G5 dead meat, a mega meat, or a T2. So it's going to be one of those 3 without a question.
So why the mega meat and the dead meat are nearly identical, right? The mega meat being the bigger.
Yep.
So why one over the other?
Blade surface area. So the more exposed blade surface area I need, or that the broadhead has, the more fletching I feel like I need on the back to control it.
Okay.
If it gets pushed by the wind, if I botch the shot a little bit, I get a little too deep in my string, get face pressure on it, I need the vein to correct whatever I do wrong.
Are you talking like a vein that's a little bit higher or longer?
Typically, I've always felt like height will control something better if I make a bad shot, like face pressure, torque in the grip, if it hits something. I feel like the higher the vein, is where I'm getting more of that control and stability out of.
Crap.
Now, I could be wrong, but that's just from everything and all these redneck testing I've done over the years, shooting broadheads every other day. That's just what I felt like has been the best.
Yeah. So you were saying you're running 2 setups, 4 fletch. One has helical, one doesn't.
They both have helical. The 3 of them, it's quite a bit. And the whole idea behind that is to get it spinning as fast as I can out of the bow, to get the broadhead to stabilize as fast as I possibly can.
Which direction?
To the right. There's without
No
a
matter
question. I'm doing to the right no matter what.
So how come you don't?
Helical to
Let's
the
just say because your string, right, can depend. Maybe your
For sure.
your arrow clocks one way.
Yep.
Why do you always do to the right? Like
So I've tested it to 100 and it does not make a difference.
Okay.
Over and
Interesting.
over and over.
So I've seen that before. I've heard this argument, right, and watched a bunch of videos. I have not personally tested it.
Yeah.
But people saying that even though that string may push your arrow left, those vanes correct it quick enough that it doesn't make a difference downrange.
Yeah, so say like the Arizona Easy Fletch, that true helical jig.
Yeah, I
You've
love
both ran it. We fletched your
Yeah, I
arrows in it
used it.
before.
100%.
So I got bored one night. This was back when Cody Jones was working here. We were sitting there and I'm like, man, just something seemed wrong. Like I felt like I should have been shooting a little bit better groups than what I was. And I'm like, well, this has kind of been a popular topic lately. Let's test this. So I took an arrow that's fletched to the right in the true helical. My bow was naturally pushing that arrow to the left. So we laid a tape measure out on the floor, and I started firing it in 6-inch increments all the way back. And at 12 feet, that arrow stopped and was rotating back to the right. So at 12 feet is when it stopped, and it impacted the target straight. So from left, it stopped at 12 feet. If I backed up to 13, it was already going back to the right. Now, that's a lot of helical. I haven't tested it with a significant less amount of helical.
Yeah.
But, man, to me, the proof is in the pudding at 100 yards. If both setups, left and right, are hitting the same target, within a 10-inch circle, what more can I really ask for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Within
So-
12 feet's quick.
That's
fast.
That's kind of my 2 cents.
Yeah. Well, we have somebody at our table here who doesn't believe in any helical on their 4 fletch,
It's not,
which is
dude,
Britt.
I don't. I am the guy that does not know. Like I go to the bow shop. I'm just like, sure, that sounds great. You know?
Here, set it
Yeah.
up.
He
And
doesn't
so
go
I
to
have-
this bow
I-
shop.
Hey, I have been here before. So I have a 4 fletch, but my veins are just straight. So there's no helical at all.
And what broadhead are you running?
Depends on what I'm hunting, which I'm actually really interested to get to that part because I've killed all my deer. I've killed like 6 bucks with my bow, and I've always ran mechanical. And I use the Rage hypodermic, and then the dead meat I have those, and I was going to use those next. But when it comes to elk and bigger animals, I've always been told, hands down, fixed broadhead, no questions asked. And then when I was out with when we had Aaron and South, when I was filming those guys, they both were running. I want to say it's Valkyrie.
Were they both shooting their stick bows?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they had the really long broadhead. I want to say
know.
they were the Valkyrie or something
South,
like that.
I still think. Now I could be wrong, but at least the last couple of films he's put out that I've watched, he was still running Valkyrie, and he has for a
Yeah.
long time.
And both he and Aaron kills, I don't even know, 100 animals a year with
I
his
think
bow.
he just killed a bear today.
Yeah.
So
That freaking guy. But yeah, he said he won't ever shoot a 2-blade, 3-blade, no questions asked. He's hit so many animals perfectly where just the twist of the arrow just made it to where that blade just didn't nick the heart or the lung or whatever. And so whatever I'm doing, and that's been kind of the thing that's kind of got me a little bit away from mechanical is all my mechanicals are 2-blade. So I've been dead set on going fixed blade everything going forward, but I don't know. I've been hearing. I know it's a big debate, so
It
I'm
is-
interested to know what a professional has to say about it because I'm the guy that I am not the professional.
I think we
in
have
this.
2 people at this table. Well, I guess yeah, because you were in Texas when the one shot on that whitetail. You were there, were you there when Coach shot that? And it
yeah.
was the
I saw the
diameter of
aftermath.
that cut that saved it, basically, right?
Yeah.
And the sheep,
sheep.
right? So we'll talk about that in a second. We'll get to broadheads, but just to finish the vein thing, like
Yeah, so I've ran some setups where a 3-fletch flat out group's better. I have. Typically they're a little bit longer, a little bit taller. I think there's a place for both. Here's the other thing. We'll just get it out there. There's some extensive vein testing going on at Easton between
Yeah, I've
Easton.
seen that
I mean,
on
there's a
social
lot
media.
there's a lot of people involved in all of it. I'm excited to see the results and kind of see what they find. I think some
By
of
the
it,
time this posts, you hopefully you'll be able to see those
I
results.
don't even think you'll be able to. Not unless this is going to come out
this will be a
mid-July.
minute.
Because
Yeah, we'll come out after that.
when I talked to the guys at Easton yesterday, that's supposed to come out mid-July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
Mark
when
has
he's-
all the ins, by the way. You know everything going on. Easton with Hoyt.
I have a few ideas of a few things. But yeah, I mean, be on the lookout for that. What I tell guys, every setup's different. Everything needs something a little different. Whether it's your setup, your arrows, like literally everything. I've had customers that they changed bows, same manufacturer, same specs, but from this bow in 2023 to the next bow in 2024, they had to make a vane configuration change. And they've stuck with it. I mean, everything's a little different. And so, we do a lot of what we call sampler packs or stuff where we'll literally just start fletching guys' arrows and all kinds of different configurations. Like, here's what we found works. Now, I can make life easy and just tell you, hey, just run this. But typically, I'm going to give you quite a bit of vane. And some guys, that's all they need. That's all they want. They don't want to really dive into some of this. Other times, you kind of need to. If you want to try and get to that next level, you need to dive into some of these things. Some of it, you're probably going to get diminishing returns and not really see a whole heck of a lot of difference. Some of them you might. So it really depends.
So, if taking your example, 2023 model bow, same spec, 2024, having to change vanes, would changing your strings on your current bow possibly make you have to change vanes?
It could. Depending how your bow technician is going through and really getting nitty gritty about reinstalling strings and cables. You could have a couple twists off and be an 1/8 inch longer in draw length. Your brace height could be off. Axle could be off. Subtle changes in the bow, you could potentially need something else. And it could have just been maybe a release change. I've been playing if you knew the amount of releases I've been playing with lately, it would scare you.
Yeah, we cleaned this table up before the podcast, but usually there are sites and releases all over this thing.
Everywhere. It's almost like shooting a rifle. Like the different grain by different manufacturer can make your bullet behave differently.
For sure.
Faster,
Building
slower.
an arrow is identical to that. That's why I geek out about arrow builds. It's because it's the same as reloading. As a kid, that's what I could do. And that's what we did was shot rifles and reloaded. But as I got into archery, the cheapest thing and easiest thing for me to play with as a broke teenager was I could go buy a pack of fletchings and refletch them.
Yeah.
I played a lot with it. Now, I didn't know what the heck I was doing back then, but I could stick a vane on an arrow and go shoot it. So, yeah, that's kind of my root cause of geeking out over arrow builds.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't even geek out about arrow builds. I just come in and be like, Mark, this is what I want. Set it up.
yeah, I ask.
It really is.
I ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, you do. You ask a lot of questions to get it set up because I've run different setups where I was running like boning blazer vanes. I don't like how tall and loud they are.
Yeah, they're extremely loud.
Yeah, they're very loud, especially out to distance if you're using like a vented fixed blade.
For sure.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then, it's like the AAEs, they're great, but I also think they're pretty loud. And just talking to you, you steered me in a different direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think if people do want that, definitely come in and talk to Mark or any of the guys here.
Yeah.
They can set you up right. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, and these guys know way more than any of us ever will, unless you take a deep dive.
Vanes are a touchy subject around here right now because it's between me and Blake, we're putting new vanes on arrows every other day. It is like I'm sick of playing with fletchings. But
So as far as fletchings and having them be quiet, oh man, every time.
Yes, guy.
that's why I got a fidget toy right here.
I need to get
give you
me
a fidget spinner, Britt.
fidget spinner. Don't touch my face. So like the fletchings are what primarily make your arrow loud, right?
For sure.
And so like I'm running a 4-fletch and it's loud. I mean, they're straight, which apparently is the wrong thing too. So does the helical help with sound? Is it 3 versus 4?
I've kind of heard that there is a point of a certain amount of helical that'll actually make an arrow quieter. I don't have the stuff to really test it, but I've heard that theory. So I don't have a great answer for that. I have heard it. But typically when I'm trying to choose something to get rid of noise, I want something pretty stiff. That's why for years the boning heat vane was our go-to here, because the vane itself was super stiff. It's a parabolic cut instead of a shield cut. A shield cut typically is always going to be a little bit louder.
Is that just because of the back end of the vane?
Back end has
What's a good shield cut example?
Like attack vane?
Attack vane's a decent example. But really a vane like a Q2I vane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most vanes you're going to see that anybody has fletched up in a Q2I is going to be a shield cut. They build a great product, but typically always a shield cut will inherently just be louder.
I didn't know that on a shield cut. I didn't know that.
Kind of is what it is. Unfortunately, now it has its benefits, but it also has its downfalls, and it's a give and take with everything.
Yeah.
No one's made the perfect vane yet.
I still don't believe they have.
Yeah.
And it grinds my gears. There's literally
You know what grinds my gears?
there's so many vane setups out there. Everybody has the next idea for a vane, and I don't think the perfect one still exists. So
Well, what's Wilde Arrow waiting for?
What is Mark waiting for?
who wants to fund it? I have some ideas.
We could also do a live diagnostic. What are you running? Do you know what veins you have?
Oh man, they're white.
Probably plastic.
I can't remember which one we put on there.
Plastic.
So.
White, probably plastic.
I should have brought them.
There's some glue underneath.
I'm still running heat vanes, and they've worked pretty well for me for what I'm doing. I haven't seen anything bad
It's a
with
good
them.
vane. It really is.
Yeah. I've recently been playing around. I think you put AE hybrids on mine.
On your X10s.
I think
the
I
X10s.
actually think that's what I have.
Yeah, so those are louder.
Okay, because I was like, mine are loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Especially
the
full.
hybrid's a softer material, but what's great about it is you don't have to primer pen it. So there's zero prep. It's lick and stick. You put glue on it, stick it on an arrow, it's going to stick, which is
Yes.
great. Especially, from pro shop standpoint, I can mass produce them 10 times faster.
Yeah.
Just that extra second per vane having to put the primer pen on and let that dang thing dry. Man, it eats up time. Time is money. And then I also have to take into consideration we have to buy primer pens to fletch all these freaking things. That's another added cost.
That's true. That's a good point.
So is there a definitive 3 versus 4 with
Not
you?
for me.
I was gonna say when I got my setup, I'd never even heard of having 4 fletched arrows, and the guy, I thought he was trying to,
Sell you an
sell
extra
me
vane.
more,
Yeah.
trump up the price on all my arrows.
yeah.
I was like,
Another $5
yeah, right, dude.
vane.
Yeah.
And anyway, he set up all my arrows. I was like, all right, and I was just like, what? Why did I need the 4 again? Like, because these are loud, and I thought maybe the loudness was coming from that 4th. And he's just like, well, let me show you. And he took took his knife out of his pocket and he shaved one of the veins off, and then he shot the arrow and it went straight in the bullseye. And he's just like, yeah, like if you lose a vein, you still have the 3 and it keeps your arrow flying true. So why not have 4? It's like, all right, cool. So good enough for me, I guess.
I've tested that. I've also
Take my money.
I've also tested 2 fledgings.
How'd that work out?
Still get where it went.
Still hit the dotted 100
I'll be honest.
With 2 fledge?
Yeah.
with the 2 fledge.
Really?
This Saturday,
maybe
ride a
maybe
bear
that
shaft.
could be the new thing.
Yeah. I honestly, I did that the
Save
other
me
day.
some money.
I shot one of the veins off of my arrows, and I just have like one of those Kuyu
Hip quivers.
hip quivers,
Yeah.
right? So I just threw it in the back of the hip quiver and I wasn't paying attention, and I pulled it out, shot it, and I go down there, and it was right in with my 3 fletches, and I was like, oh, damn, it was at 60.
Yeah.
Because I'm still getting my sight tape done after a few weeks, like still just trying to make sure. And it was right there with him with 3. I was
Okay.
actually like,
All right.
that's
so
interesting.
what if we take a relatively flexible, but still kind of stiff for sound, 2 veins, and just kind of helical them full 90 degrees, so like there's full coverage. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they're both.
So they're like essentially.
So it's
like,
almost like 4.
I know what you're
you're
saying.
Almost like 4 vein configuration, but you're doing
You're
it
putting
with 2.
enough on it to wrap it around
What do you think?
the other side.
Let's try it.
It'll probably shoot good, pretty decent at 20 yards. I bet you.
That's funny.
If you were to get that much helical on it at past 40, it's probably going to start parachuting so much that
With only 2 veins?
probably.
All right, we'll do a
I could
little
be
less
wrong.
helical. We'll do that much helical.
How
We'll
would
try
you
it.
how would you fletch that? You'd have to make like a custom jig, right?
You'd probably just do it by hand for now.
Good luck. That sucks. I've tried it.
It's only 2 veins.
Yeah.
And if it works, then we'll make a jig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No joke.
The one thing I've always heard with like 4 fletch versus 3 fletch is you're saving fletching, so I'm going to go and buy 3 instead of 4.
Yeah.
Save a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Well, it's funny because I've heard that. Like, four fletchers trying to sell me extra vein. I mean, Nick Fisher and like Evan Williams at Hoyt. Dan Staten's trying the 5 fletch right now.
Yeah.
There's guys that are shooting a 5
Which
fletch.
was quiet
fletch?
on his video.
It was really
And that's what I
quiet.
heard.
Wait. 5 fletching?
5
now?
fletch.
They're small, but he fit him on there.
They are small. So Randy Ulmer back in the day. Randy Ulmer to me is like the god. Nobody's killed more 200-inch mule deer with a bow than Randy Ulmer.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
if anybody is in around Centerville, you need to come to the shop and look at the poster you have of Randy.
It is incredible. I'm
and all the
literally
deer
going
he
to frame
shot.
it. It is that cool.
Yeah,
Like-
it's a sweet poster.
It is pretty cool.
I've always paid super close attention to what Randy does. Some stuff, I'm not going to drill a hole through my bow and bolt my sight to it. But I for sure spray paint my bow. But Randy Ulmer, he shot a lot of 6 fletch arrows because he can run a smaller vein, create the same surface area by adding the extra fletchings to it, and also get his arrow spinning extremely fast to get a tree cover coming out of the bow.
If you're running 6, are you able to offset those? Or are they
Not
just
very
on there
much.
straight?
You don't need as much though because you got
Okay.
extra fletchings there. So it's creating a tighter wind pocket around the fletchings.
So, John Dudley does a 6 fletch for his wife.
Yeah.
And I remember watching the video, and I can't remember why he does it. It's like maybe like a poundage or something, or did steerage. I can't remember. He does it for his wife. He does a 6 fletch.
Yeah.
And like the 5 fletch that these guys are doing is with an air razor,
23.
23.
Little guy.
like little but stiff little dude. Like
I tested it.
works pretty good.
It's pretty cool.
That's insane. 5 fletches is just like
I keep
I
joking.
never even heard of.
I can't afford 5.
I mean, I hadn't heard of 4 fletch till what was that? 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And how you guys are talking about 6 fletch, I'm like, oh my heck, are you
yeah.
kidding me?
Jeremiah killed
Never
a
heard of
deer
that.
with a 6-fletched arrow.
did you really?
Same
Nice.
idea. I mean, he's watching everything that Randy Ulmer's doing.
Dang.
Freak, if Randy's doing it, there's got to be something behind this.
What were those? It was like just the circular, like plastic.
Oh,
what are those
Yeah,
called?
I don't remember.
Absolute
think-
hot garbage is what those were called.
Well,
I
hey,
think
at this
they're-
point, who knows? I mean, it sounds
They're
like
still
there's
out
all
there.
kinds of
They-
stuff.
They're
are.
out there.
They
I
pop
think
up on
they're a
Camel
gimmick,
Fire every now and then.
but
You probably
they're out
love
there.
those heat shrink ones too that you put in like boiling water. It heat shrinks your veins to your
look, in a
Have you
pinch,
seen
it can
those?
belly you. And the only reason is I went my first antelope hunt. I went on that hunt with 3 arrows. That's all I had left.
You are ballsy, man.
And I'm like,
Three-
freak,
That's how I used to hunt mule deer.
I'm like,
High country mule deer. I only took 3 arrows with me.
yeah, I get that. I only did it because
And
that's
a 9mm handgun.
literally all I had was 3 arrows left. I'm like, man, they're freaking antelope. They're around every corner. Like, I can kill one with 3 arrows. Buddy boy, was I wrong. I mean, I got one, but I had 1 good arrow left.
Yeah.
And I was stressing.
Were you picking them up off the ground and sending them again?
I had to. At one point, I missed the goat twice, and I had 0 arrows left. So me and my dad are out wandering the sagebrush trying to find these. He's like, dude, screw this. Let's go back to camp. I'm like, no, you don't. We have to find these.
You're like, there's no option.
The hunt is over.
Those
if
are
I
my
don't-
last arrows. If we don't find those, we're packing up and going home, and I want to kill a goat. And he was so mad at me. He's like, we could have bought you new flipping arrows. I'm like, well, the problem is they don't make this arrow anymore. And so I burned through all my dad's ancient stashes of these old arrows from Easton. Now what do? I got to retune the bow. I got to resight it in, the whole 10 yards. This is my only weekend. I got 3 days to shoot an antelope. If we don't get it done, this is it, and I want to kill one. So
I love that. I can just see you out there picking up arrows off the ground and be like, God dang it, not this one.
I told him, if we
Find
could,
someone else's arrow out there.
Praying as you pick it up.
Yeah.
please.
Oh,
I was at
please
that
be
point. If
okay.
I could find a 3rd arrow somewhere, but we would have
Sucker
been
was getting flung.
Oh yeah. So in a pinch, yeah, them little silly heat shrink ones, you dip in some hot water, and that can bail you out in a pinch.
If you got a jet boil and some water and some of those as a backup on on a shaft, dude.
I have never went on a hunt again without bare minimum. I will take 12 arrows. I need to be able to reload my quiver twice. So never
All right.
again.
Mark's a really good shot, everybody. So, you know.
He's made some pretty.
He gets sidetracked.
shots,
He
but
gets
like-
sidetracked with the squirrels. and
Yeah.
Hey, so I guess I do have a random question. So, Olympic shooters, right? You look at their fletchings and all that stuff. I mean, supposedly they're like the best in the world, right? Like,
incredible.
shouldn't we kind of be mimicking what they're doing, or are hunters kind of pushing the forefront of
No, so
that
I
type of
mean,
innovation?
They're 2 different setups for 2 different reasons. So a lot of what you're seeing like Olympic recurvers do, and it is flat out incredible. Like you watch Brady Ellison shoot a recurve, is magical. It is the most fluent thing in the world. It's incredible to watch. Anybody, you should seriously watch it.
That's how I feel about Bodie Turner.
That's
18.
pretty incredible too.
Yeah.
But you also got to realize they're shooting nothing but a glue-in field point at, let's say, the Olympics. They're shooting 70 meters, which is, you can do the math. I'm not that smart. It's like 65 yards or something, I think.
Yeah.
65 and some change, I think.
No one's going to fact check you.
Yeah, you're good.
I could be wrong. It actually might be like 74 and a half, 75. I think it goes the other way.
I believe you.
It's somewhere.
Either way, yeah, you
somewhere around
can
there.
figure it out. I don't
From
really
60
care.
to 70, you got a 10-yard gap.
Yeah, you'll be all right. But what they're trying to do is this is the same idea. They're trying to get their arrows stabilized as quick as they can coming out of the bow. But with a recurve shooter, they're not shooting mechanical release, and so everything's off their fingers. So a lot of it is how they release their hand off the string will dramatically change point of impact downrange, which will affect tune, arrow spine. It's a whole nother conundrum. And so it's two different things for two different reasons, because in a compound, we're shooting a mechanical release aid that it's virtually the same every time. I mean, it's not. You can still screw it up with mechanical release, but it's not even the same world as shooting with your fingers, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
So yeah, they're doing there's a lot of differences in what we need to build for, say, an Olympic recurve shooter versus a compound shooter. And then even for a hunting setup versus a target setup in compound.
Yeah.
So.
Because like in hunting, basically, you think you put a broadhead on there, especially if you're shooting like a fixed blade. It's like slapping vanes on the front of your arrow too.
Literally.
So you're trying to correct for that, whereas those guys.
So let's
they're
talk
just
about
on
those
field tips.
bigger fixed blades, maybe like the double bevel or something like that.
Yeah,
Are you running 4 fletchings for that then, or are you still getting away with 3, depending on the fletchings?
Depends on the fletching, for sure.
course it does.
I mean,
It
a
always
lot of
does.
this, at the end of the day, you can kind of answer your own question to a certain degree. But yeah, and it also depends on the shooter. I just sent a guy to Africa. Well, I think he might be there right now. Shooting this big old long single bevel broadhead. He's shooting a 4-fletch. He's shooting an AAE hybrid and a 4-fletch with some helical. It's like a 800 grain arrow. He's hunting Cape buffalo, so there's a purpose to shoot a single bevel broadhead and that heavy of an arrow, but it's for one animal. That is his buffalo setup. So yeah, you look at like the iron will wide that they have. Look at that vane they just came out with. It's freaking tall, and that's to correct and steer that big old broadhead you're putting on the front.
Yeah. So 800 grain arrow. Where's most of that weight? In the front?
Most of it's in the front still. He's shooting, that's a 250 grain broadhead with a 95 grain insert with a full length VAP TKO 235. The only way we could get him that weight was leaving a full length.
Holy cow.
So he's full length arrow coming out
Full
of
length.
that. Wow.
And I took him up to the Bountiful gun range up here.
Right.
And I went and sighted him in. I didn't think he was going to hit the broadside of a barn at 40 yards. I mean, this arrow's sticking 3 inches out of the front of his bow. We got enough fletching on the back that it should control it, but yeah, that's a lot going on there. It tuned good, so we know that at least we can get delivery good coming out of the bow. But I didn't think it was going to hit very good past 40. I mean, he was shooting consistently. I mean, the top of this freaking cup right here, he could shoot that at 60 yards. I was kind of surprised.
Wow.
Oh, that is interesting. Which, by the way, if anybody lives near Bountiful, you guys helped set up the archery range.
Yeah, we got
out
that.
the Bountiful, right? Mm-hmm. So that was Wilde that helped do that and kind of fund
Yeah.
that. So that's a cool place for people who want to go shoot for free.
Yeah. If you buy a new bow from us, we give you a punch pass to go up there. They get you in
right
there
on.
for one.
Cool.
Get you one time.
That's cool.
But it's cool. You go up there, you can pay the $10 range fee. You get to shoot archery, rifles, pistols.
Yeah.
You can go shoot shotguns. You got to pay for tokens for that. That's separate. But yeah, I can go up there with my handgun, my rifle, and my bow and go do all of it in one day.
Yeah.
So
That's
pretty
pretty
dang
cool.
neat.
Just want to plug that because I've been up there before.
Yeah,
Plus,
check that out.
Plus, there's Antelope Island still.
Yeah,
If
there's
anybody's
Antelope
out there,
Island
there's an
range.
Antelope Island range that you guys helped set up too.
Yeah,
Well, you
that's
just
pretty
gotta-
cool out there.
Just got to pay the
Pay the park fee.
Yep.
park fee and the causeway fee.
But then you can go look at buffalo and those huge mule deer that are
Some
out
speed
there.
goats.
Yeah.
coyotes around every corner.
Torons.
They've almost
Kinda
got me in trouble. I've wanted to shoot them so bad.
I shouldn't say this on the phone. Get a suppressed 300 blackout, dude.
Oh, they're epic. They should open up the island one day every year to let us go out and thin out some coyotes.
Oh, man.
It'd be epic.
I would
Probably should.
totally
I
be
bet
down
that
for that.
population's quite healthy.
For sure.
Oh, it's very healthy. I've been out there playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's plenty healthy.
Coyotes
Anyways, I just wanted to.
Yeah, they shouldn't be
They don't
staring at
manage
you
them
on
at
the-
all over there?
No.
Really?
They shouldn't
don't.
be staring
It's a
at you
safe
40
park.
yards on the side of the road, sitting there like a dog. They shouldn't be doing that. Like,
Oh, my head.
they should hear a truck and take off running.
Dude,
There's that.
Yeah. Anyways, the
There we
coyotes
go.
they're terrible. But yeah, you guys anybody can go shoot at those two ranges. I think those are worth
they're good
noting.
ranges.
That there's good ranges for people to go shoot.
For sure.
Or
There's
there's
a lot of
20
people that
yards
have
right here in the
access.
shop.
Yeah, you can come
Yeah.
shoot 20 yards in the shop.
Just don't
So-
hit the ceiling.
Yeah, if you hit the ceiling or the back wall above the targets,
Give the guys in the back hard
give the guys in the back. Yeah, Tyler may have done that.
I've never.
I love going into the archery shops and you just see all the arrows that are in the roof.
It's pretty bad. We used to make people sign it, so feel a little lucky, I guess.
Oh, wait, Tyler and I had the privilege to come in here. It's like, I don't know, 2 months ago maybe. We came in here and this guy was like, just loitering. He's like, oh, yeah, I want to buy a bow. So they said, well, let's see what you know. So he goes right over here to go shoot. Like, literally gets it back, punk, and just nails the wall right above the targets. He's at like
7 feet.
7 feet.
He missed a 3 foot by 4 foot target.
Yeah, twice. 2 times in a row, missed it and plugged it in almost in the ceiling.
He bought the bow, though.
Yeah, he did buy
He
the
did
bow.
buy the bow.
I mean, that works.
Yeah.
But
That was good.
yeah, I think that's you were just talking about broadheads. Britt had a question about broadheads. We can kind of segue into that.
Yeah, we can jump into broadheads.
And then we'll go. Then we can talk about arrow diameters and kind of how that affects things and go into
yeah.
a
This will be
great
good.
question.
We'll get ready for the broadhead conversation. Yeah.
Do you remember your question about broadheads? Because I got one.
I mean, it's just the standard mechanical versus fixed blade.
And you're kind of leaning towards fixed blade at this point.
From everything, I mean,
For elk.
At least for
yeah,
bigger
at
game.
least for
Yeah.
bigger game, yeah.
Even would you do it like? Are you kind of leaning that way towards mule deer? Even
Well, and that was kind of the thing for me is, I personally would like to have like just one broadhead, and I run it. I don't want to be switching a
makes it
bunch of
easy.
stuff on my bow. You know, like if I had all the time in the world to dedicate to switching things up for each animal that I'm going to hunt, but I just don't. So, for me, yeah, if I'm going to have a setup that's going to kill elk, I also want it to kill mule deer.
Yeah.
I haven't done that, but now I'm busy enough to the point where it's like, man, I just need to have the one setup to one for
the
all.
one ring to rule them all.
the one broadhead to rule them all. So
All right.
and
we're gonna figure out what broadhead that is right here.
Yeah,
and
we're
if I
gonna
was
sell you on one
and
right now.
I was the other thing is if I was gonna do hunting up in Idaho, it has to be fixed blade.
Not anymore.
Oh,
Nope.
it doesn't know
Nope.
anymore.
Nope.
Been a
When
couple
did,
of years
when
now.
did that
Couple
change?
years, yeah.
Okay, well, that tells you how much I hunt in Idaho.
He films. You film hunts
yeah, I'm
nowadays.
a-
We got to get you away from
I
filming.
shouldn't
to
even
hunt.
be on this podcast.
So, leaning into that, why? We'll just ask Mark, why a fixed blade versus a mechanical in today's day and age?
Fixed blades have their place. I'm going to hurt a lot of feelings with this, though.
Oh, I can't
Oh,
wait.
This is
let's
gonna be
do
like-
it. Let's just rip the band-aid off.
This is-
Yeah,
Fixed
rip the
blades have their
Band-Aid off.
place for
You can-
Cape Buffalo and nothing else.
You can come burn my house down, call me unethical, whatever. It is what it is. I've got a fair amount of bow kills under my belt, and I know what works and doesn't work. So, fixed blades have their place. There's no two ways about it. Women, kids, lighter setups.
I'm not gonna be honest. When you said women, I didn't know where you're going with that. They have their place. Women. I'm like,
Mark,
I
could you
should have
rephrase
paused there
that,
for a minute and
please?
be like, "What are we going?" Oh, okay, I
We're
got you.
taking this a little bit out of context.
Yeah. Spoiler! I don't know where that's going. I was.
I am holding it in, man.
I knew where it was going.
Proceed. Check that out.
You can tell who the two were here that were like, anyways.
These guys.
So, yeah, I mean, without a doubt, fixed blades have their place. I sell a fair amount of them every single year. I talk an even bigger amount of people out of them every year.
What's the most popular
Really?
one you're selling?
Right now, without a question, it is a G5 Mega Meat
Mega meats.
by
So the most popular broadhead you're selling is a mechanical.
a landslide.
Okay.
It's not even close.
Like, if you were to give a percentage of the people that walk out that door with a broadhead, how many are
80%
walking out?
mechanicals,
80% mechanical.
if not more.
Really?
For sure.
And so-
I
and-
could pull legit numbers for you, but it's damn close to that, if not higher.
And
Yeah.
I've used that Mega Meat. Freaking love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, every mule deer I've killed, again, I use the Rage hypodermic, and
I've killed.
I have not had a deer go until my last year, I have not had a deer go more than 45 yards after I shot it. And blood trail's like unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of mechanicals. When it came to the bigger animals, and the other thing is with Hunt Wars, we're dealing with a lot of outfitters every year.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of them are going to tell you,
all the outfitters,
you're shooting a fixed blade or nothing on my ranch.
Exactly. That's what they all say. And so little by little, I've been like, oh, okay, some of the best hunters I know are, 3-blade and fixed. And then we talked to all these outfitters, and they're just like, man, we won't even. I was talking with them, and he's just like, I can't believe you have you brought the Rage hypodermic into this camp. He's like, those are not allowed. I was like, okay. Well, I'm not the hunter. Luckily, I'm just here to video, but I did bring my bow just for recreation. He's like, no, get those broadheads out of here. And it's like, and almost all the outfitters we talk with, they're like, no, we do not let our hunters come in with mechanicals.
I will not hunt their ranch.
So why do you think that is? Just they're stuck in their ways?
Literally old and stuck in their ways.
Really?
Okay. Outfitters that are up to date, like that really are up to date, in my opinion. It is what it is. I'm going to hurt some feelings. They will much prefer a guy shoot a fixed or a mechanical broadhead in their camp than anything else, and their recovery rate goes through the roof. The other side of that, is shot placement. Look, man, there is 90% animal and kill zones behind the shoulder. Get away from it.
Yeah.
We don't need to build setups to try and punch through a shoulder blade. Yeah. Most of these animals in North America, if you're 4 inches behind the shoulder, guess what? They're not making it out of sight.
Yeah, that was, we actually touched on this in our last podcast a little bit. The Ross Bigger and Austin Chandler from Working Class Bowhunter podcast, those guys slay whitetail like crazy and giants. And one of our guys aimed for the shoulder on a monster buck and didn't recover him. Yeah. And they all just kind of were comforting him a little bit. They're just, hey, we've all been there. He's like, I've lost a 200 incher to a shoulder. And they said, it only takes a couple bucks till you learn the lesson. Hug guts before you ever hold that shoulder.
For sure. Yeah, you put it in the guts. Look, it's
you don't want to do. You don't want to hit in the guts, but rather guts than shoulder.
Yeah, our job is to make a super ethical kill and be as quick as we possibly can. But fact of the matter is, they're going to die in the guts. It is what it is. Killing isn't always the nicest thing in the world. Look, we're taking a life.
Right.
But I'd much rather shoot them in the guts, knowing that they're going to bed quick, too. I've been on plenty of blood trails and gut shot animals, but they're bedding within 200 yards. They're sick to their stomach. Quite literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as now the other side to hunting comes into play in being a tracker and knowing that they need time. And if we're on a gut shot animal, it's a minimum of 20 hours before I'm even stepping foot looking for anything. And if we are at that point, you better be ready to shoot them again if you need to. The most recent gut shot animal I've been on, textbook gut shot. No question about it. You shot it through the guts. We gave that deer, to be fair, they watched him bed. So they tried to go put another arrow in him. They bumped him. They backed out. I was up chasing another buck. So we all met back at camp for lunch.
We'll take a quick pause.
Let's
real
do it.
quick.
Gut shot.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, we're back, everybody. One thing you guys do at Wilde Arrow is they have league night. Was it league night tonight?
Big youth program.
So they do a huge youth program, and so we were just pausing because they were done with their
making a little noise. The
making
kids
a little noise.
Yeah,
and so that's another cool thing that Wilde Arrow does. They do youth programs. You guys have 3-spot league every once in a while.
We're gonna start a 3D league up here soon.
Nice.
Yeah, see that? That's
nice.
So there's a lot of things going on. We'll be at that.
Yeah.
Can you guys open up a Wilde Arrow up in Cache Valley?
Oh,
I could open up 100 stores. It's the guys behind the counter that make the difference.
Amen to that. Anyway, so you were talking about a buck before we stopped. You were talking about that deer.
Yep, gut shot deer.
Yeah.
So, they try
solidly gut shot hit.
Solid gut shot, yeah. So they watched him bed. They could see him in his bed. They tried sneaking in, tried to put another arrow on him. They missed. Deer ran off. They saw the direction he went. They backed out. So we gave that deer. Now this is like noon, opening day. We gave that deer. We went in at noon the next day. So we didn't give him 20 hours. judging off of what we saw where he first bedded, probably wasn't going to make it super long. So the other thing that really clued me into this, well, there's a creek in the bottom. Guess where the deer ran? He ran straight to the creek.
Yep.
So we rolled in there, ready to freaking start shooting arrows if we needed to. Found him piled up. I mean, we actually had a pretty good trail to follow. The reason being, he's shooting an 1 3/8 broadhead, mechanical broadhead, something to put a freaking hole in this thing.
Yeah.
Put a fixed blade back there. You're going to probably find some stuff, but you're going to have to be a crime scene investigator that works for the FBI to find it. I've been there on my hands and knees finding pin drops of blood for hours, and guess what? I didn't recover that animal. It is what it is. I'm like,
It's bow hunting.
and it is. It's bow hunting. It's being a hunter. You're going to lose animals, but I would rather have 12. And John, I've been listening to this podcast that James Yates did with John Dudley, going over some of the stuff in this arrow testing and vein testing they've been doing. And John said this perfectly. I would rather get 12 inches of penetration with a 2-inch broadhead on the front of it than a clean pass through with an 1-inch fixed blade. You have way more damage going on with a big cut mechanical on the front than you do with a little cut fixed blade. And it is what it is. I mean, the whole goal is to spill blood on the ground. If you don't have it on the ground, it's hard to find and recover animals.
Yeah.
They can go further if you're not cutting as much. And they just flat out shoot better.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say is everything comes down to arrow placement.
Without a doubt.
And for me, the mechanicals fly like a field point.
They do.
For the most
Yeah,
part.
they do.
For the most part, they do.
It's
Now,
like-
I can debunk every field tip flying theory in the world. I've done it. There's not a freaking broadhead on this wall that shoots identical to a field tip. They're different. They got exposed blades. There's different stuff going on. And it's pretty easy to test this. The only broadhead that's on this wall behind us that is the closest thing to a field tip is a thorn broadhead. It's a plunger style broadhead. Now, I've shot a couple animals with it. I've had great success. It's scary accurate. The groups that I've shot at 100 with it is unbelievable. I'm still a little nervous about the whole plunger idea, shooting an animal. Like, I've had great results, but it's still not my number one choice. It might be for this antelope hunt, but it's not going to be my number one choice, but it is on my mind without a doubt.
We know why it's your number one because you just said earlier you're gonna if you range an antelope at a hundo, it's going. You're sending it.
My group's at 100 or the average person's group's at 20 yards.
Which I'm not going to debate. I would not debate that.
And I can prove it. So people have their own ethics. You can burn me down for being willing to shoot an animal that far. It is what it is.
We can get into this just like the long range rifle shooting.
Yeah.
Like it depends on
Depends on the person. Yeah.
Well, and the other side of this, and this also plays into fixed blades or mechanical broadheads. How do you perform under pressure shooting at an animal? If you haven't shot a lot of animals, I guarantee you're going to torque the hell out of your bow coming to full draw. And guess what? A fixed blade broadhead's going to plane off, and you're going to shoot him in the shoulder. You're going to shoot him in the guts. Hopefully, you miss.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
if I get to full draw, and look, I've killed an absolute truckload of animals with a bow. I don't get all jacked up until I touch it off. Once I touch it off, I'm a wreck. Like, if I have to make a follow-up shot, it ain't happening. But up to that moment, I've killed enough animals, and I preach this to you guys. You got to learn how to be a killer to perform under the pressure of shooting at an animal. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You're taking a life. So up to that point, I'm as calm as a cucumber.
Yeah,
So-
that's kind of how I am too. And that's awesome to hear you say that because I felt like I'm a little bit alone with that. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, nobody that I hunt with, they're just like, they get buck fever and they're shaking. And
A lot of people
And I'm
do.
like, man, like,
We're a
I
minority.
I tell people like, oh, I shoot better at animals than I will ever shoot at a target. You know, that's just me. Just
I
because
used to be able to say that.
I get
but
hyper focused in that moment, and
everything's slow motion.
yeah, like
Like-
it's just different for me. And I don't know.
I'm one of those people that it took me a while to get there. My very first deer, I was shaking like a leaf.
Really.
Oh yeah, 100%. But then, as time has gone on with both rifle and bow kills, now when I'm in the moment, it's just calm.
Yeah.
But I'm like Mark.
the world
As soon as
stops.
I hit
Yeah,
that,
the world literally
As soon as
stops.
that arrow hits, oh man, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I freak out too. I'm just like you. I mean, when Tyler shot that deer, Tyler shot a deer that I flipped out on because I was like, you just killed a giant deer, and I probably cost him because he could have had a follow shot. Granted, I was right in front of him for losing my mind, and so Tyler probably lost it because of me. But like, I'm like you. I'm calm until that shot goes off and I see that arrow hit, and then my adrenaline spikes.
I will say, like, so as a cameraman, like, that's different though.
You're a wreck.
For whatever reason, I'm a wreck the whole time. If I have a tag and a bow in my hand, like, calm as a cucumber. But dude, yeah, when I hear a bugle, 100 yards away, I'm already starting to get nervous. Like, oh my heck, I'm like already starting to get the shakes.
Going down.
Tyler and I know there was one time when we had a bugle, we got close, and all of a sudden I turn around and Britt is just sweating profusely because he got the nervous sweats. We know that you don't handle that well.
No.
Like my late season archery bull. When I touched it off, everything was in such slow motion. I swear I could watch each rotation that the arrow made. In flight. I watched it clear the scrub oak, which I didn't think it would do in the first place. And it hit the bull, and I'm like, it hit him, and I see him whirl. And then I came back into reality, and I lost my flipping mind. I have thrown more bows after an arrow has impacted an animal than is probably right. My bows get thrown. Like, I can't just set them down. I throw them because I'm that jacked. But on the flip side of that, if I'm a spotter for you, I'm going to lose my mind now. I'm really calm, trying to guide you into something, but guaranteed on the inside, I'm screaming. When on the sheep hunt, I'm walking Jeremiah in, and its tenses are feelings are high right now. The sheep have been kind of hit or miss. They've dropped in the canyon a couple times. The stock and where they're located, it was no question. This is going to be our best opportunity to kill them. The sun's in their eyes. Jeremiah and Brad are coming in from the perfect angle. Like, I got him right down to the exact draw I wanted him to come out on. Boom, radio's cut out. Now we're trying to do the best we can and range the sheep to them, but we're literally 90 from the sheep. So depth perception is off.
Way off, at that point.
Radio's cut out. I was screaming. I was getting pissed, throwing my hat on the ground like I am mad. We're about to screw this thing up, and that's the only reason I have the footage I have from my side, because my job is to be the spotter. I am shaking profusely. Like, I couldn't. It's unimaginable the difference. If you're not the trigger man, it's different.
Yeah, it is.
At least for me. Being the trigger man, I'm calm. If I'm the hunter, I'm calm. If I can't kill him right now, I'll kill him tomorrow. It's not a big deal. And everybody else around me is freaking out. And I'm like, look, we're good. I don't need to hike up that mountain. That bull's going to come down tomorrow afternoon. We'll kill him there.
Yeah.
It's a difference. Like, when I'm
It's
a
a weird
spotter
difference,
and I'm not the hunter, I am beyond intense. As a hunter, man, I'm laid back. We'll do our thing. I'm not worried because I know my skills, and get me in bow range, I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
I'm good.
So speaking of that, of the sheep hunt, kind of bring it back to the broadhead discussion, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why that sheep died.
There is.
Because of a 2-inch cut on that sheep, right?
Without a doubt. So we can hit this on a couple different points. Forgiveness of a mechanical broadhead in wound devastation, but also the biggest thing for me is flight. The amount of people in the world that have been able to come to full draw on a desert bighorn sheep with a bow, any bighorn sheep with a bow, the thin horned or the bighorns, take your pick. It doesn't matter. The amount of people that can do that with a bow, there's not that many people out there. So
Nope.
Tensions, I can only imagine being in Jeremiah's shoes because I know how I was on the other side of the canyon. Tensions have to be high.
Yeah.
Jeremiah shot a lot of animals with a bow. We've been lucky between doing urban deer control and shooting animals that way.
Yeah.
We're still shooting deer in city limits. It's still a kill. We still have to deliver an arrow into the spot we want it to be. And then the amount of animals we've killed on the mountain. I mean, and the guys here are killers. There's
You
no
guys
two
are
ways
stacking
about
bodies.
it. Like, we've kind of got a couple things figured out. We just haven't figured out how to kill the big stuff. That's where we're lacking a little bit. We can find them. Man, we just can't seem to kill them. So, did he torque the bow? I don't really know. He has a pretty good idea what happened on the shot. So, we've shot hinge releases forever. We've always, a lot of us here, we've shot a hinge-style release for target archery. Well, man, the worst shot you're going to make all year long is on an animal.
Yeah.
100%.
And so,
Ain't that the truth?
if I can break that same shot that I do on a target as at an animal, I'm trying to minimize my miss. And that's kind of the goal here, okay? His theory on how he pulled the shot on that is he ripped on his hinge, and instead of letting it go off nice and easy, the pin got on it, and he cranked on that thing. That's his theory how he pulled the shot. And I mean, I've done it. I've practiced to shoot a hinge fast if I need to, but at 73 yards on a steep downhill, on a bighorn sheep that you've never come to full draw on in your life.
Ugh. You got a lot of things.
There's a lot of things going.
Yeah.
Yeah, he almost missed. But guess what? A 2-inch mechanical broadhead on the front bailed him out. He made a piss poor shot. He'll own up to it. He's got criticized all over the internet about it. We all screw up, man, but the difference is we were able to recover him, and then we killed it. Yeah. That sheep's not running around in the desert with a giant gaping wound or an arrow sticking out of it.
Nope.
Miserable for weeks or months at a time.
Yep.
So we did. He got lucky. There is a huge amount of luck involved with it, but if that was a fixed blade broadhead, we would not have a desert sheep sitting here at the shop. It is what it is. And the only reason we know that, we recovered the animal, and we could see exactly what it cut and what it hit and the damage that it did. We barely caught the windpipe. There is literally a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch gash through the windpipe and all the smaller arteries that were around it. It still took the sheep 3 hours to die. Fixed blade wouldn't have cut what that did.
Yeah.
No.
So,
yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. There's a forgiveness factor, and mechanical broadhead will deliver it 9 times out of 10 better than what a fixed blade will. Just don't shoot him in the shoulder. Shoot him 3-4 inches behind the shoulder in the center of the lungs. You're going to watch them fall over if you hit center of the lungs.
Yeah.
And I did.
I was going to say, I think, going back to all the outfitters, like they're just, I don't know if they're just older or just that, whatever, but mechanical broadheads is the difference that they've just come so much farther with the technology of them.
For sure. A mechanical broadhead right now isn't what it was 20 years ago.
Right, and I think that's kind of what plays into all of that.
For sure.
They're basing all of their, no mechanical broadheads allowed in this camp or this lodge at all, based off of 20-year-old mechanical broadhead history, right?
For sure. There is a big difference. Like, in archery, we're at a point right now with technology, and it's going to spike. Well, there's dips and lows with technology, but I feel like we've come so far where we currently are at, and that's with bow technology, broadhead technology. Somebody's going to reinvent a wheel at some point. We're going to see a big spike, and we're going to see everything else change and rise to the occasion. But for now, I think we're kind of tapered out a little bit. But it's not. Bows aren't the same as they were 20 years ago. Arrows, broadheads, it's all different. And that's truly what it comes down to is a mechanical broadhead is not the same. Like, there's not an animal in North America I would not put a mechanical on the front of my arrow and go hunt tomorrow with.
Okay, so that's
take your pick. I will shoot a mechanical at them.
That's what I was going to ask. So we brought up there's a place for fixed blades.
For sure.
And it's the lower poundage bow users.
Yep.
Right? Is there any other place for fixed blades? I mean, we mentioned the Cape Buffalo. That's requirement, I believe.
Yeah. There ain't no way I'm sticking a mechanical on the front shooting one of those.
So such thick hide.
But any North American animal.
If I was to go to Alaska moose hunting tomorrow, I'm taking mechanical.
What are you taking?
Dead meat for me. And this here's the reason being. I'm toning back my cut diameter. And look, I mean, the ideas have been out there. I read the Ashby study in high school. I did broadhead testing and penetration stuff back in high school 10 years ago.
Oh, that's dating you, Mark.
Oh, I know. I'm getting old.
Just kidding.
Young is one of the
longer.
There is something to be said about blade angle and penetration. And I found that back then as a dumb kid. I don't know what I'm doing. But I read this stuff. And over the years, and shooting all the animals I have with a variety of broadheads, I've kind of realized, like, what has got better penetration than others. And the other side of this is I used to be a guy, I used to hug the shoulder. It comes back to when I started hunting as a kid, I hunted with a rifle. Then I muzzleloader hunted. Then I wanted to get into archery. And what do? You hug the crease of the shoulder. It gives you a hard, especially with a bow, it gives me a hard left and right line to aim off of. And having a target archery background, it's the perfect thing. All I got to worry about now is elevation. Cut it loose. Well, I always came in contact with some sort of dense bone, whether it was the elbow and I was coming into the heart, or that flat plate of the shoulder. Like, I always came in some sort of contact with that. And so what I found was some of these mechanical broadheads that had more of a swept back blade angle, like a Rage Hypodermic Plus P. Phenomenal broadhead. I've shot a piss load of animals with a Rage broadhead. They get a lot of crap, but I've killed a lot of animals, and I could prove a lot of people wrong. And so, if I'm going moose hunting, I'm going to tone it back. I'm not going to try and stuff a mega meat through them. Could I probably get 12 inches of penetration? Yep. And guess what? I'm going to kill it that way. But you're not always guaranteed a perfectly broadside shot. Yeah. So if I can tone that cut diameter back and get a little bit more swept back blade angle, I'm going to get better penetration if I do have a hard quartering shot. I changed broadheads last second before going on my elk hunt due to that. Bulls, I'm hunting them 1st of December. We're starting to get a winter coat. And that was a big thing for me is I know I can put an arrow under pressure where I need to. And if I got a hard quartering away shot, I know where I need to do and where I need to slip it in at. And if I can tone that cut diameter back, I'm going to get better results out of it.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying just grab any mechanical broadhead and go shoot anything in North America you want to. There's good ones and there's bad ones. And there's good ones for certain applications, and there's some that are better. That's where coming into finding somebody. You come into your local pro shop if there's good experienced guys there, or finding somebody to mentor you through archery that has experience with this can really help you get you guided and put in the right place.
Yeah, 100%. So here's my question for you as a hot take. What is the one mechanical you will absolutely not hunt with?
That I will not.
You don't have to say.
You don't have to say if you don't want to. If we're going to burn a bridge, we're not going to do that.
I have an answer for that while you think about it. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's the one where the blades were curled into each other and it looked like a biohazard symbol.
Yeah, the Toxic.
The Toxic,
It's made
dude.
by Toxic.
That was a fixed blade, though,
That was a
wasn't
fixed
it?
blade.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pay
sorry.
attention. I'm just kidding.
We were talking about mechanicals you wouldn't use. Will shot a awesome bull with one of those. It was just worthless.
Well, you can give us your mechanical and your fixed blade.
Sorry.
Nose.
So
That was, I forgot that
there was a
fixed blade.
there was a plunger style broadhead back in the day. It was created in Utah. It was a local company. But it was a plunger style broadhead. The theory was genius. It's gonna be stupid accurate, and it was stupid accurate. Now I never shot them, but I've been around them quite a bit, and I know plenty of people that shot them, and I know people that invested in it. But I've heard more people have negative things to say about that broadhead doing nothing but putting a pinhole through an animal. There's my hard no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll test a lot of things and back to that thorn. It's a plunger style head, man. It's kind of sketchy looking, but I know enough people that have killed stuff that I trust with it. And so I gave it a shot.
Yeah.
I still got them in my drawer. I really like them.
I'm sorry.
Pretty rad.
What is a plunger style?
So what it is?
No, that's a good question.
I have
It's
no
a
idea.
great
Good question.
So the blades fold back inside the ferrule. Okay. If I knew we were going down, I would have grabbed one. It's actually a super cool broadhead. So the blades fold inside the ferrule of the broadhead, the long shank of it, essentially. Okay.
Okay.
And then the point, at least on a thorn, has this really thin. It's probably 3/8 of an inch long, or sorry, 3/16 of an inch long. I don't think there's any of not that thorn. That's that one right there.
Yeah,
Bring
grab
that orange one to me. So what's cool about this is it has a very, very sharp point on here, okay? I'm going to pop this thing
Perks of being in the pro shop with Mark. He can open it right now. I'm not going to get in trouble.
We can put examples up for
Yeah.
those of you watching.
Yeah. I'll probably end up buying these if we're being honest, because I don't think anybody else is going to buy them.
I mean, he's being honest.
For
sketchy.
research.
So
Yeah, research purposes.
as it sits, there goes the weight for a 125. That's how it sits. It's static, non-deployed on the front of my arrow.
Oh, wow.
It's a field tip.
Yeah, that's
There's nothing more accurate.
That's
There's
crazy.
not.
Yeah, that's
But
insane.
if you look at this, it's very blunt on this side.
Yeah.
That's going to rob you of penetration.
If that
Now,
hits
is
a
it
bone or like a rib even?
rib? I trust it on a rib.
Yeah.
The shoulder, you're screwed. You shoot him in the shoulder, you're screwed.
Yeah.
There's only one system out there, in my opinion, that's going to give you the best chance of breaching dense bone. That's the Valkyrie system. It is still not a guarantee. I watched one of my best friends square bull square in the shoulder. He got no penetration. We searched for 2 days, never found the bull. Had no blood. Bull's alive. Has to be. There's no way the bull's dead.
Yeah.
His arrow, I'm literally, all of his arrows sticking out of it. So,
That's crazy.
yeah, you shoot him in the shoulder with this, you're in trouble. Ribs, I've shattered ribs and cut them in half. So we're good. But what happens is they call these shear pins. I pull this through this little hole in here, and that's the blade retention system. Now, as it hits, these will grab, pushes the blades back. Now you have some exposed blade. The hide and everything else can grab the edge of these blades and force it open. Plunger style broadhead.
Gotcha.
Do you ever get concerned you're not going to get 100% deployment all the time? Like 10 out of 10 shots, you're going to get.
It can be a concern, especially with something like this, where if you look at, say, a dead meat or a mega meat, there's exposed blade
Blades are
surface.
already
So if it does
exposed.
not open,
The blade's still there.
it's still cutting. This one, if this don't open, I'm shooting a pinhole through them. That's
You're
that.
not finding that.
Now, I know of a individual that had a field tip in his quiver during a bow hunt for some ungodforsaken reason. Guess what arrow he pulled out when he shot his deer? He screwed up, and guess what? They recovered it because he put it right where it needed to go. I'll guarantee their blood trail wasn't worth a crap, but
Yeah.
they recovered it. So
That is a very interesting design.
things happen. It's wicked.
it's-
it really
I
is
mean, it looks
crazy.
like, yeah, it looks like
pretty
a
unique.
wicked
I've never
broadhead.
seen
I've
it.
never
I see
seen
that being super accurate.
It's scary.
So
I
one of
was
the thing-
shafting arrows at 100 with this broadhead.
Wow.
Like,
So one of the reasons I shot the Rage hypodermic is because they had those like
Practice heads.
Yeah, and so like I just bought a bunch of those. I don't shoot field tips ever. I always shoot whatever my broadhead.
as you should.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
take, when I shoot my dead meats and mega meats, it's a 2-part broadhead essentially, okay? So we have the body of the ferrule, then we have what we'll call the threads that screws into your insert. I will pull that out. I will flip it upside down, keep all my blades in it. I'll fill it full of epoxy, put it all back together with the blades closed and let it sit overnight. I just turn my broadhead into a practice head. Their practice head's good, but it doesn't replicate exposed blade surface area, which
Yeah.
they shoot different.
Give you a little bit of variation
Especially at extreme distances. They are not the same. I don't trust it.
Yeah, that's like a whole nother level of experimentation because we bought them. It's the BMP, right? Is what they called
Yeah.
their practice
Yeah.
head.
Ballistic match point.
Yeah, and so like I've shot it before, and then I came in the shop and I was like, "Oh, how close is this?" And he's like, "I wouldn't trust it.
I don't.
I'm gluing mine in." And I'm like, "Dude, that is a whole nother level of like." But to your point, no practice tip is going to be the exact same as the actual broadhead itself because you cannot replicate what those blades do unless
Can't.
you have a exact replica. And I haven't seen. I guess does anybody make a practice broadhead that's an exact replica of the actual?
Grim Reaper does pretty good. Grim Reaper makes a good practice head.
For which broadhead?
They make one for their Fatal Steel. I'm staring at them right now. And then they
Yeah.
also make some for their Pro Inch and 3/8.
Oh, okay.
How do you practice that one? Can you lock the
You
blades
can.
in?
So it comes with this practice collar
That keeps the blades from.
that
Oh,
stops
so your
the plunger.
doesn't go down.
Yep.
Okay.
So when I was shooting this, I paper tuned with it. I did everything with it because that's my field
good.
tip. This
Yeah.
is all I shot.
Yeah.
Dude, it's incredible.
Can you imagine
that's what I want to do.
paper
Yeah.
tuning your
See,
broadhead?
that's when I
Paper
first
tuning your broadhead.
That's insane.
It is.
when I first bought mechanical broadheads, I went with the Sever solely for
You can practice
you
with
can
it.
practice with it.
Ooh,
Never ended up using it.
I forgot about that broadhead. That's another hard no for me.
Oh wow, really?
Interesting.
I've heard
Without a
great
doubt.
things about Sever. Is it
There's
just,
a
is it
lot of
just
great theories
Is it
behind
just a social media trend or?
There's a lot of great people behind it as well.
Gotcha.
I have, and this is me coming at this is the most unbiased opinion that I possibly can. This is just straight from customer feedback. I have more negative feedback from customers on that broadhead than any other mechanical broadhead on the market right now.
Really?
Interesting.
We are very strict with it. If it's a 90-10 split, there's always going to be negative about everything we do. Every broadhead we sell, there will be negative.
Yeah.
Somebody will have something to say,
Yeah,
I
somebody
lost an
always
animal
does.
because of this, and it's always the first thing to blame. That's fair. But if it starts getting 80-20 and getting lower than that, we have something to look at. There is something going on, and if I'm getting that feedback from thousands of customers a year that they're having problems with a certain product, especially a broadhead, It has no room in this place. We've boxed broadheads up and shipped them back to manufacturers before.
Really?
I will not sell this.
So do you think with the Sever, it's because people are shooting it at targets all the time kind of thing? Like because you could shoot the actual broadhead as your...
This is the theory I have. And we've got some pretty legit people that have been on the blood trails and recovered some animals, and some people that haven't, and personal experience. My whole idea behind it is... And the theory of it's great. I love the idea that the blades will pivot around bone.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, and take that for what it's worth, it's an opinion. But all of your driving force is coming from the back of the arrow, okay? The energy is focused up on the front, which is fine. But if all that driving force is coming forward, you hit a rib. Now, they did all this testing in ballistic gel with ribs and stuff. It's a controlled media that's all the same. Well, there's nothing you're not having to deal with: hide, fat, flesh, bone. So the idea that it comes in, pivots around this blade. Now there's more pressure on this blade. So this blade can pivot in the ferrule and go around something, and continuously driving forward is great. But what happens is this blade's coming in, it's going to hit. Well, guess where all my driving force is? It's behind it. Now that's just turned. And I've heard more and more time and time again that they're getting deflections and running arrows down the sides of animals than anything else. Now, I think if you got a perfectly broadside animal, you're probably good.
Right.
You get slightly
Interesting
quartering
theory.
away and you hit 2 ribs.
Yeah.
I'd almost put a fair amount of money on it that it's going to deflect, and it's going to take off somewhere it shouldn't.
I've actually heard somebody who said they shot it. I think it was an elk, and it hit the rib, and the arrow was literally.
I just saw it
in the cavity.
It's a video on like Instagram. I recently saw the same video, and the guy I think got another shot at it.
Yeah,
kind of thing. But I don't know if
the one
actually
I
got
saw,
it or not.
they cut the elk open, and it was literally inside the cavity, completely.
See, here's what's cool.
They shot it broadside.
They were able to recover the animal.
Yeah.
Now you can dissect this thing, and this is my favorite part of killing animals. I can dissect everything and tell you what happened.
Yeah,
that tells the
that's
story.
true.
If you don't recover them, you have no clue.
You're just guessing.
And that's where a broadhead is the first thing to blame when you don't recover them.
Yeah. It's
People all the
easiest
time,
thing to blame.
my mechanical didn't open. Well, how do you know? Did you recover it? Because if you shoot a fix, and this is what happens. We were talking about this earlier today. We talk broadheads every single day in here. If you shoot a fixed blade and you shoot him in the shoulder, like, man, I made a bad shot, people will own up to it. They shoot a mechanical broadhead and lose an animal.
Didn't open.
Didn't open. I lost the animal because of that broadhead. I'll never shoot it again. Well, how do you know?
Yeah.
I've had some
You're not
broadheads,
recovering that
like-
broadhead
That's
more than often.
For sure.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I've a mega meat. I've had a little bit of deflection, but it's not turning perpendicular into it.
Yeah.
It's taken off a little bit, a few inches, came out a little further, back than I thought it would, or a little further forward.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I recovered the animal. I watched everything I've shot with a mega meat, except one I've watched tip over. So I'm about 4 kills on a mega meat. I mean, that's pretty good stuff right there. At least as far as so far from what I've seen is not giving me a reason where I'm like, I shouldn't shoot that broadhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Now I'm going to continually testing. And if I do at some point see something catastrophic where it's like, whoa, what happened here? Then that might be something to look at. But you got to think,
Till then.
I got 1,000 customers coming in and telling me the same thing.
Yeah.
This thing puts animals down.
And I've got a friend whitetail hunting who used it and put the shot a little low and thought that it didn't open after we dissected the deer. But upon further investigation, the only reason that deer died was probably because of the mega meat's cut radius, cut diameter.
Yeah.
I shot my deer last year with mega meat and didn't have to blood trail him because he ran a half circle around me and I watched him fall. But when I went to go pick up my arrow, blood everywhere. When I picked up the deer, his lung was falling out the exit hole, like just
You're not getting that fixed
massive
blade
damage.
broadhead.
No
Yeah.
way.
One other thing, talking about technology with broadheads and stuff. Have you heard of I know you've heard of the Ramcat? Ramcat broadhead?
Yeah, I have some buddies that swear by him. I've never shot it.
I've had some guys talk about like there's something to do with the tip of it where it has those little air pockets and it on impact it like
Almost gives some sort of like a hydrostatic shock, kind of like a bullet would to a certain degree.
Yeah, and they said like, man, like when they cut open animals, it's like it's just a mess inside.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it's not that big of a broadhead either. So, that's been the only other. I mean, we were talking about like, where technology is going to go from here, and it's like that seems kind of like a
Could be.
crazy
There might be
piece that
something
I don't know how valid that is, but I've heard good things about Ramcat.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I got a buddy. He shoots them, swears by them. I've never fired one. I have nothing to speak to it of. But it's funny. Like back to vanes. I don't feel like there's the perfect vane out there. Everybody feels the same way about broadheads. Every year when we go to the ATA show, and my favorite thing to do there is go through the innovations booth area. It's literally guys with a 10x10 booth with a lifetime table set up, and this is new to the industry. Here's what we're trying to sell. It's my favorite thing to go through because you might just find just one thing that's like, you got something here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of broadhead companies that are in that every single year is mind blowing. Like every year I got a rep, like I picked up this new broadhead line. I'm like, cool, send me some. We'll go shoot some city deer with them and see how they work. But more than likely, I'm probably not going to bring them into the store. But if there's some hype and there's actually something to be said around it, I'm going to give it a look. We'll go shoot some deer with it and see how they perform. And if it does better or just as good as some other things, then I need to thin out the wall and maybe replace something. It has a place. But everything we're selling currently, we're pretty satisfied on right now.
And yeah, there are so many different broadheads.
There are.
It will
It's like
terrify you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're not even scratching the surface on this wall behind us, and there's already a lot.
There's a lot, but there's not. Like, I could fill this entire building. Every spot you could hang something, I could put with a different broadhead.
Jeez.
yeah.
That's what's scary about it. It's crazy.
Yeah, there
Everybody
are some
has their
different
new
broadheads.
way of a theory of how they can reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, big mechanical fan. If you had to choose a fixed blade, what are you choosing?
Something smaller, typically. And the only reason I say I'm going to choose something smaller is forgiveness. I don't want a big broadhead where I got to run a piss load of vane on the back to control it if it does take off and get sideways. So it's kind of the complete opposite, but there's the accuracy and forgiveness that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because if you can put the fixed where it needs to go, right,
it's going to do its job.
it'll do its
just
job.
like anything else out there.
You just got to steer
just
it right.
like the field tip story.
Yeah.
But you got a little bit less margin of error. So
I want to put it where it needs to. So
So what are you picking?
right now, if I'm choosing one fixed blade broadhead, I'm putting it in the front of my arrow. It has its negatives, but it's being a Grim Reaper Micro Hades.
okay,
The 3 blade. Yeah. It's an inch
That's what I used to use.
yeah, it's an inch and a 16th cut. It's not big. The blades are scary sharp out of the package.
Yeah, they are.
They're a local Utah company.
Yeah.
The guys down there are absolute studs. I would love to shoot nothing but their product because they're local here to Utah. They're just not my personal favorite still. It's still an over the top. I know plenty of guys that kill animals every year with them. It's still not my favorite.
Yeah.
There's things I would change about their mechanicals, but if I had to choose one fixed blade right now, that's the one.
Yeah. I've shot a few deer with it.
The
I
one
love it.
negative, it's not the quietest head out there.
True. Yeah, that is true.
But
it's that vented style.
yeah, it's and there's difference in how and where the vents are that will create noise versus making them quieter.
Do you? So are the solid broadheads just naturally quieter?
For sure.
Okay.
There's
are
some
they
theories,
harder to tune though?
They can be, and so
I
that kind of
had
leads me
a
into
heck
this.
of a time.
There's theories out there that a vented broadhead will have less drag, which will create lift, which change. We can get into a whole pile of ballistic stuff that's over my head, but I can just tell you that stuff I've heard and tests that have been done in the past, that some vented heads will shoot better. Some solid heads that don't have any vents will shoot good too.
Yeah.
I think there's so much that goes into it, and a lot. Like one big thing that, other than having a good way to practice with a broadhead that drives me crazy is length of a head. The longer that head is, the more you're going to change the dynamic reaction of the arrow coming out of the bow. And there's two different things we're talking about here. Static spine, or static, is an arrow sits, how it reacts. It's a 300 at 28 inches is how they test spine. And there's what they call dynamic reaction, which is what the arrow's actually doing when it has a force acting upon it. The power stroke, the string coming out of the bow. The longer your head is, and that's why I was paper tuning with this broadhead on it, because it's so freaking long, I can get the same dynamic reaction coming out of the bow to make tuning changes. It's another thing. I wish it was possible to get these mechanical broadheads to get the correct blade angle to be shorter, so we didn't have as many tuning problems potentially. And that's where we start seeing issues downrange with point of impact, and why I say not a single one will hit behind the pin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same as a field tip, at least, because it's not, there's a lot.
Yeah, dude, there's so much you can dive into with a broadheads. Like, that's such a broad topic.
Yeah. Check that out. How about that?
But
Jay with his puns.
I would just say this: have we
Push that
convinced you,
little
Britt?
drum button over there.
Yeah. Have we convinced you? Are you going to move to mechanical? Because I'll be honest with you.
I was planning to. I was going to whisper in the mic as we ended the podcast. Mechanicals only, everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
From this point on,
Careful, somebody's going to try and burn your house down for saying that.
You know, they can burn
those
our
guys.
house down.
all these companies behind us that are heavily invested in
This
their
is the
fixed
first
broadheads.
year, and it's all through like talking with Mark and like other stuff. This is the first year I'm not going to have any fixed blades in my quiver.
You were going to take a fixed blade to Oregon. I was yelling at you over it.
No, they told us. No, they were like they were like basically it was like, yeah, you guys need to take fixed blades. So I did.
Because that's what we get told by all the outfitters.
We were arguing
everywhere
it's
we
fair,
go.
right? I mean, but I
That's
came
what
in
we're
here
told.
and Mark gave me so much crap. He's like, "Why are you using that? You should be using a dead meat or mega meat." This year, I mean, I have a deer tag, and I'll buy just an over the counter archery tag, just because there's a lot of elk where I go deer hunt. I have no hesitation now smoking one with a mega meat. I'm gonna take mega meats for my deer,
It
and I'll
is what
shoot
it
a cat
is.
with it.
Cows and spikes are test subjects. When you have a big bull hunt potentially in your future, and there is a lot riding on that by time you account all of the points, your time off work, everything it takes to get to that point. Look, man, whacking a cow or a spike with a broadhead, doing some testing to know what it's going to do if you decide to take that product on a big bull hunt.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
I love that. Cows and spikes are testing.
It's kind of cruel, but I'm just being honest. That's how I view them. I don't want to lose or wound an animal. Like, I want to do the best I can by. I'm not going to take just some janky broadhead on the front from Walmart. But look, if I got a big bull hunt in my future, I want to test stuff.
Hey, I can fully admit the very first deer I ever killed was with a broadhead I bought from Walmart. It was those muzzy 100 grains where you had to put them
like
together.
An MX3 or an MX4.
Exactly. That was the very first broadhead I ever killed a deer with, and I bought it at Walmart, and it was like $15 for a pack of 3.
Yep. Jeremiah sold, back in the day when those were the hot topic.
Yeah.
Jeremiah sold a pack of those to a kid. Came in, got a bow, decided he wanted to go bow hunting. They're backpacking in. His buddies are already up there, and he had to work. So kid's going up to go bow hunting. It's opening day. It's middle of the day. He's hiking in to go meet up with his buddies, Stumbles upon this giant deer. He's like, oh, freak. Takes his backpack off, takes an arrow out of his quiver, fiddles around in his backpack, gets the pack of broadheads out, puts it together, puts it on the front of his arrow, and killed the deer. This is no joke. We tell the story every year. Jeremiah is still to this day upset about this.
I would be too.
Because I can go find a giant deer every year, but
And
that
they
don't
can
mean I
hold
can
still
kill
for you to
him.
do that.
Yeah, like
Sit down and assemble
open
a
the
broadhead.
package.
and-
that's like, man, I can barely get in bow range of these things.
Did we see this deer?
Yeah, is it real?
I think
Or is this-
so.
or
I've
was-
never seen the pictures, but
The
that's
deer
what
that
I,
held that still sounds like it made a real metal sound
That's
and
kinda
some
weird,
lights
huh?
turned on,
Yeah,
and this guy
might
spent a
be
night
kinda
in
weird.
jail.
Yeah.
You're only 10 feet from the road.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what I've been told. It's
Wow.
a pretty wild story to believe.
That's nuts.
Okay,
That
so
that beginner's luck thing. There was a kid that hunts where I hunt, and I'm good buddies with Tate at the archery shop up there. He set this kid up, never owned a bow.
Tate who?
Tate Anderson,
Okay. Different Tate, different state.
different state.
Check that out.
different date.
Anyway, this kid goes and hunts where, I mean, literally one mountainside away from us and just slays. He's just walking through an open field, doesn't know really even how to hunt at all. He just decided to get into it and slayed a monster. Just walking in a field that stood up and looked at him. He's like, what the heck?
I hate myself.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
man.
That is so stupid.
You know what, though? I want to earn it, though. Honestly,
I'd
like,
rather earn it,
there's a
too.
part of like, everybody makes fun of me. My first buck was a spike. My second buck was a 2-point, and I was gunning to get a 3x3. And everyone's like, dude, if a giant buck is standing out there and there's a 3x3 standing right next to it, you're going to shoot the 3x3. I was like, oh, yeah. I have my whole
I
life to
get it.
kill a giant buck.
See, I'm
And
the
they're like,
opposite.
no, you wouldn't. And I was like, I honestly, no joke. I absolutely would have shot the 3x3. I don't care how big that buck was standing next to it.
Look,
I think you're
my
out of your
desire to
mind.
kill a 200, my desire to kill a 200-inch deer is way higher than that. If I have to hit him with my truck, I'll hit him with my truck. It is what it is, fellas. Like,
You could kill half a 200-inch deer
I
and then
probably could.
and then 3D print the rest of it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's me.
So,
Tyler's
how about
speaking
that
for
story?
personal experience.
yeah.
I know someone that's doing that.
Sitting
Look,
at this table.
yeah, that's kind of weird. Golly. He did not hit the deer with his truck first.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, it died by the truck, so it almost
Mega
looked
meat.
like it. Yeah.
that's
As
true.
close,
It literally
as close
died.
to it as could be.
Drilled it with
Yeah.
a mega meat, and it died 20 feet from my truck.
It's incredible. How about that private property?
He's
all
like, I don't know
about
what
it.
you're talking about.
I'd like to own some.
Yeah, I look, all people care about is a giant deer. They don't care how you did it. You shot off the side of the road. They'll never remember. They'll just remember that you killed a 200-inch mule deer with a bow. I could care less how I do it.
But if you kill a 400-inch elk with a bow that was
In
photographed
town.
in a yard,
Was he
that-
400 or was he closer? I think he's closer to 5.
Yeah,
He's,
well,
he's big.
Oh gosh, are
Regardless.
we talking about the?
There's some
Nope,
controversy
we're
over
not.
there.
Yeah. I will ask you this question though,
All right.
because Mark has said this off camera. You have a choice: 200-inch buck or a 400-inch bull.
Not even a question.
I already know what you're gonna say, but what are you picking?
Mule deer are king. Elk are fun
Yes.
when they play the script. Guess what? In Utah, they don't do that. So I'll take hunting mule deer over that any day.
So you're picking the 200-inch mule deer.
Not even a question.
I know
There's
that.
only one thing that'll top a 200-inch mule deer,
What's
and that's
that?
a desert sheep.
Yeah,
89-inch antelope.
How many chances do you get to do that?
desert
though?
sheep. Okay, yeah,
Jeremiah
that's
has
one.
a sheep, and he'd still choose a 200-inch mule deer.
Would he?
Really?
If somebody would have handed him,
Yeah, because he has the sheep.
these wild
true.
arrow guys
That's
are
true.
right up my alley.
if somebody would have handed him a Ponceant or a Henry's Mountain deer tag
Oh,
and traded
Man.
him for his desert sheep tag, he would have done it. He is sick and twisted in the head. The sheep's
is a
way
little
cooler.
sick.
I'm gonna be awesome. The sheep is way cooler for sure, but I mean, a Ponceant deer tag.
that would be a
Place
heck
is
of a tag
magical.
to have.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the only word for it is magical.
yeah. Britt, I know you'd pick a 200-inch mule deer.
Oh, hands
Tyler's
down.
basically shot
Hands
a 200-inch mule
down.
deer. But what would are you a mule deer or an
half
elk guy?
Half a 200-inch mule deer.
Yeah, technically it's only 100 inches, so now you still have to get it.
Yeah, you're halfway there.
The 200-inch box, right? Ish. Ish.
Half a
we're,
check.
we're gonna say yeah.
The one side was 89 inches.
Half a check. I'll give you 3/4 of a check.
All right, thank you.
But we don't know the spread credit, so that's why.
Yeah,
That's the tough part.
but we're gonna go like a
But
mule
it's-
deer elk.
I bet it's 33.
Yeah, he's pretty
Some
wide,
change.
outside.
Yeah, outside.
33 centimeters.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. 2 years ago, I would have said elk and you're all nuts.
Then you shot some cool mule deer.
Then I shot a really cool mule deer, half of a really cool mule deer.
half of a really cool mule.
I'm still like, and now I want a full one. Like this is my personal feeling on this mule deer. Like he'd broken off just above the base from probably a rifle shot. Best guess, because there were bullet fragments lodged in his
Yeah.
neck.
Yeah.
And it was a thick freaking base. You don't just break that fighting. It was also November 5th when I saw
he's
him
a-
broken
he's thick.
already.
He's thick.
He was easy from the photos before he broke. He's easily a 2 to 210 because we don't know how big the kicker he lost is.
Yeah.
He's big.
He's
But
a
I-
good boy.
So I've shot technically what was a 200-inch mule deer. I do feel a little robbed
As you should.
that he only had one antler. I mean, I had my kid with me. I wasn't going to pass him up, one antler or not. But now I feel like I got to go, like, redeem myself on another 200-inch mule
For
deer
sure.
that is complete. So,
That's gonna hang
Well,
over you for a long time.
it will.
my friend.
do I want a 400-inch bull? Absolutely. But I will
It'd be
probably,
cool.
like, the only way I'm getting a 400-inch bull is if I draw that tag.
Yeah.
A 200-inch mule deer, I found him in the extended unit.
They live on every unit.
They
in Utah.
do.
Yeah.
A 400-inch bull does not live
That's
on
why
every
I think.
unit in Utah.
That's why I think I'm more interested in a 200-inch mule deer because
It's attainable.
it like a small percent still, I'm sure, but it feels more attainable than a 400-inch bull. bull.
Would you think it's safe
They're
to
both,
say
they're
that they're
both so rare, and then the opportunity to get close enough to, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
just
For sure.
I honestly,
Yeah, but if you can hunt them in the rut,
I want
They're
to kill
so
a,
dumb.
I want to kill a 400
Mule
or
deer.
200-inch mule deer, but to be honest,
400-inch mule deer.
no,
I would
a
too.
400-inch
I would
elk or a
love that.
200-inch
That
mule deer.
corn-fed thing.
Trash everywhere.
Did I say
Where
that?
was the fence?
But I mean, honestly, like I love the comparison that Joe Gillia at Elk Bros made, where he's like, dudes, like, because we get a lot of hunters that are, oh man, we're gonna hold out for, a 400. We're going on this elk hunt in New Mexico premium unit. Dude, those premium units are so hard.
Extremely
It's so hard.
Yeah, it does.
Everybody
Like,
thinks
Oh, just because it's a premium unit,
You're gonna go kill a giant.
guaranteed to.
No.
No, it is. It is
They
elk
are that
hunting.
big for a reason.
Yeah, like, and it's tough country to get it done, and it, these guys are being pulled from all over, and they don't know how to hunt this place. It's one thing to kill an elk or a mule deer in your home on your home turf, being dropped into a place you've never been and figuring out how they work there and what their their patterns are or whatever. It's just, I don't know, it's crazy. And
Yeah.
those premium units are just as tough.
they are.
As
It's
anything
not a
else.
walk in the
It's,
park.
I'll be
And-
honest.
Well,
But what I
you
was
should
going to
know.
get to is the difference between a 380 bull versus a 400.
99% of people will not tell the difference.
Yeah, yeah. And it's
can't.
like it's an inch. Was it inch and a half on each tine or something
Yeah.
like that, depending on how many tines it has. But it's like it is such a minute difference.
Yeah.
It is extremely. I misjudged an animal by 20 inches once. Guess what? When I put a tape on it, I was slightly disappointed at first. And then I had to realize, look, I got everything out of this hunt I ever could have dreamed of. Do I still want to reach that number? For sure. But
what's the animal?
it was my Book Cliffs mule deer in Utah, my first limited entry deer tag.
Oh, I put
His
in,
first.
I put in for book
His
clips
first,
every
ladies
year.
and gentlemen.
First limited entry deer
He
tag.
has had 2 limited entry deer tag, 2 limited entry antelope
No,
tag,
2 limited entry antelope, 2 limited entry elk, 1 limited
2
entry
elk.
deer.
My bad.
I
I've
can
already
pluck-
done 2 limited entry elk.
I've had 2 of them.
And we're going to tell you the units.
You guys call me
He actually just told us the unit on his own.
On my mule deer.
Yeah.
I did it on the deer. Yeah,
So how big is the deer?
140 inches. I misjudged him by 50. I figured he was 155, 160. I misjudged him.
Is he in the shop?
Yeah, he's the deer in the shooting booth.
Oh, nice.
I also had to leave that. So there's a little bit of emotions going on. And I think that played a factor into it. I wanted to kill a deer. I could have
doesn't?
killed multiple deer. But I had to leave that night to go home and put my dog down.
Oof.
Got a phone call. Your dog's in bad shape. You better, you need to get home. Otherwise, we're doing this. So
We're with or without you.
yeah, dog's in bad shape. So
Man, that's tough.
I says, well, I'll get camp packed. I'll go out and glass tonight. Trying to turn up my number 1 buck again. And if I don't kill him, I'm hitting the road tonight regardless. I'm going to go home, take care of this. I'm going to get back on the mountain. I had 2 weeks blocked out for that hunt. If I needed to go back, I was going back. So we're day 4 on the hunt, and I got to pack up. So I glass this buck up. He's in an epic spot to make a stock on. I said, well, I think he's 155, 160. Let's try it. The stock looks fun. I think I can slide in there and shoot him. So I did. I slid in there, got to where I thought I could. He was the exact distance I thought he would be. I just had to wait for him to stand up. He stands up. I botched the shot. I missed.
Hey, it happens.
story.
It happens. I've done it.
Not what I thought
said-
was going to happen.
I know. I was like, oh, what?
Botched the shot.
Yeah, I screwed it up flat out. I missed. I got excited.
Yeah.
Part of it, I didn't read his body language very good. He took a step as I pulled the trigger. I shot literally inches behind his butt. I said, well, that sucks. And then as he takes off running, I watched him on that unit. The bottom of everything is, the tops are giant plateaus, the bottoms are giant fields. Well, I watched him come out on this bottom, said he's going to do the mule deer thing and stand down there, and he's going to let me shoot him. So I ran over, took a quick peek for my arrow. I didn't see it. I went around the corner, poked my head out from the cedar tree, and I ranged him, and I set my sight, and I drew back and said, here it is. Boom, I shot. I hit him, but I made a piss poor shot. So I thought originally, I thought I shot him square in the shoulder. And I said, you've got to be kidding me. Like, the worst thing I could have done. I have to leave. I mean, it's 20 minutes till it's pitch black. I have to leave. And I got a wounded deer on the mountain. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So I watch until I can't see him no more. He ran uphill. I said, well, I didn't get into any of the goodies. He's fine. I got to go home. So I get back to the side-by-side. I put it on the trailer, and I make the 5-hour drive home. Take care of the stuff at home I need to take care of. I got back down there, and I pulled into camp at 3 a.m. My alarm went off at 5, and I said, to hell with this. I'm sleeping in. I got another week and a half to hunt. We're good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have even set an alarm.
Yeah. So, so I got up when I got up, went and glassed real quick, found out my number 2 buck got killed either that morning or the night before. Saw him in the bed of the truck. I was kind of bummed. He was a gorgeous 4-point.
Dang.
He was that 160, 165 mark. He was
He's a big
he
next
was
year.
a solid deer. Yeah, like I knew on this hunt I was going to kill the biggest deer I'd ever killed in my life. It wasn't hard to beat. Like I've killed a lot of stuff. I haven't killed a lot of big stuff. I've hit that point in my hunting career where it's like I want to start hunting more mature animals, and this hunt really broke the ice for that. So I go back to camp, get everything set back up again, and take another nap middle of the day, waiting for everything to get good. And I roll out of camp about 3:30, 4 o'clock. My dad's on his way down to come help me for the remainder of that first week. Lo and behold, I glassed that same buck up. You've got to be kidding me. I'm like, I'm looking at the scenario, so there's no way I can get in bow range of this deer. I have to come get on the same hill he's on, and he's going to see me the entire time until I peek off. I get on the backside of the ridge he's feeding on. He's got eyes on me for a couple hundred yards. There's no way I can get in bow range.
Yeah.
But I owe it to him. I have to try.
Right.
And that's all. That's literally what I told myself. I have to give it a shot. Like, it's the same buck, but it is what it is. So I bail off. I start my stalk, and big ridge comes down, and there's a bowl that I'm wrapping around, and I'm just getting ready to crest over onto the backside of it. And I looked over at him. I said, if you stay there, I'm going to kill you. And I had a pine tree marked. Like, I got to get to that tree, pop over the top, and shoot him. I ran down the ridge, and I popped over. Well, I had dropped too low. I marked my pine tree. So I pop over the top, and he's feeding down below me. I'm like, it's over. So I backed out. I looked over to my right, and there's just a big enough bush I could hide behind it. So I hurried and boogied over to that. I was already knocked up. Release is hooked onto my D-loop, and here he comes. He's feeding perfect. Like, textbook, you could never dream or paint a better picture. He's in an old burn. Grass is super green. Range him, he's 50 yards. I come to full draw, and he takes another step, and I give him the good old meh. And he stops, and he turns and looks at me, and I freaking pumped him perfect. Center of the lungs, height-wise, 4 inches behind the shoulder. Arrow freaking took off, like feet behind him.
What broadhead were you using?
Thorn broadhead.
Okay.
Just had to check. I chucked my bow. Like, I don't know where the bow ended up. I was so amped up. This deer went 40 yards. I watched him freaking,
Freaking throwing your bows, man.
dude, it was wild.
Makes my heart hurt.
And this is another reason why I say shoot him center of the lungs. I hit that deer so hard on the center of the lungs. I think what happens is you knock the wind out of them. Now there's a giant hole through it. They can't catch their breath. Well, he also can't catch his breath and get his lungs full of air to really bolt. He walked 40 yards, and he tipped over, and it was spraying blood, feet on each side of him.
Nice.
It was the coolest, most quietest, like, I was by myself. It was the coolest experience of my life so far. And, dude, it was just epic. Like,
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, I put a
dude.
tape on him. He was a little smaller than I thought he was, but when I got past that and I thought about it, everybody needs to experience that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's listened to the podcast that Grady put out about his boulder bull. It's not the biggest bull on the mountain.
No, I'll tell you what, when I taped that bull, I was surprised how big he was.
Yeah, but
Pretty rad bull.
I did think it was cool. There's a follow-up podcast with Ryan Carter from DC
That was
Outfitters and him.
incredible.
Yeah, and he's pretty blunt. He tells Brian, he's like, "Yeah, you didn't shoot a toad." No, but it's the experience that he had, and I think you're right. Like a lot of the times that nobody has that. Like you have an experience with your daughter being with you, killing that deer.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to shoot. Well, there was a 2-point out that I probably would have let walk. But
Dude,
But
if
the
I got my
experience,
kid
right?
next to me, there's no way I couldn't not shoot him. If I have a kid telling me, shoot it, Dad. Dude, I'm cutting it loose. Like,
well, and she almost blew the hunt for me too.
Yeah.
Like just so close to blowing that hunt. And then just being like, sit down, shut up, don't move. He's right there.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that when I have kids, I will go on a 2-point killing streak again because my kid tells me to shoot it. There's no way I can't. I would lose it just to have that experience.
You can't shoot 2 points with her ever again because she'll be like, why is this so
Yeah.
small?
What is this, Dad?
Yeah.
She's going to be like, you can't do this again, Dad.
So you shot him 3 times?
Shot him twice.
Twice. Okay,
Yep.
so the first one
Missed
you
the
just
first one,
completely whiffed it.
Whiffed the first shot. Airballed it.
Shot at him 3 times.
Shot at
hit him twice.
Yeah. Shot at him 3 times. Hit him twice.
Where'd you hit him on that one shot?
So I thought I
night
hit him
that
in the shoulder. That was actually this is
where'd
great.
you hit him?
So hard quartering shot. Shot plenty of deer this way. I know where I got to hit. Problem was it was a little risky. So my theory was this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim behind the front shoulder that's facing me. So essentially I'm going to come in, hopefully catch the backside of the first lung and at the angle come down enough to catch the liver and come out guts. It's a sketchy shot. Problem is I clicked it in my rangefinder. My mind's made up. I'm taking the shot. So now I need to use the best of my ability and my knowledge of the anatomy of them to make the best shot that I can.
Yeah.
And trust myself that I can place it where I need to. So I thought I squared him in the shoulder. I didn't. What ended up happening is I actually hit him a little higher. And we can go down. This is another reason why I'm so weird about sight tapes now too, and average density altitudes. I ended up hitting him high above the hips and below the spine in no man's land.
Really?
So I had, and I wish I had it. It fell out of my backpack when I was packing him out. I had 3 inches of arrow and the broadhead still in him, below his spine and above his hips.
Huh.
And that was that.
Interesting. I've never seen
Crazy.
Yeah. And there's all of that, as those hips come up, that's so dense right there.
Yeah.
It robbed me of every ounce of penetration I had.
Yeah,
I hit nothing but dense media.
I'm surprised it stopped the arrow that quick. I mean, I know it's dense, but still, like.
I was too. It really surprised me.
Well, I'm never using a thorn broadhead. Just kidding.
No, when I thought I hit him in the shoulder, I seriously, I'm questioning myself. Did I choose the right broadhead for this hunt?
Yeah.
That was the first thing that went through my mind. It's easy. It's the first thing to blame.
It is.
I did it.
Oh, 100%. I shot a deer a few years ago where I smoked him with a iron will. Mm-hmm. And he took off, went straight downhill. I went and looked. I didn't find any blood until I was 5 feet from him, and there was blood everywhere. And he only went 60 yards.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking when that thing zipped through and I couldn't find blood for the first 30, I was like, he was at 20 yards. I watched that thing bury 3-4 inches behind the shoulder. I knew he was dead. Mm-hmm. But then when I didn't find any blood, I was like, I will never shoot this again. I think I told you like several times. Like, I didn't get any blood.
We
from
had
this.
the conversation.
Yeah, that's right. We did. Because I
Yeah.
came in and told you about that. And you're like, yeah, shot placement. And I was like, man, but this is the first thing I blame is broadhead.
It's
and then
easy.
I found him with blood everywhere. But you're right. It's easy. It's the scapegoat, right? It's the
sure.
easy thing to blame.
But guess what?
My broadhead had been 160 grains traveling at 3,000 feet per second. It had got the job
Probably
done.
would have got it done. Yeah. Yeah, and that's, I was home. I had to drop the side-by-side off here at the shop, and I took a 4-wheeler back down. I could have swapped broadheads, but I just trusted all the work that I put in beforehand that this is what I need.
Yeah.
This is the setup for this hunt. And I laced him the next morning.
Yeah.
Or the next evening, flawless. It worked textbook perfect.
Yeah, I think
I put it where it needed to go.
exactly.
Like the broadhead opened where I hit him on the first shot that was bad. But
So you and I had this conversation actually about broadheads. I can't remember who it was. It's a guy who has an archery shop, and he asks his customers when they come in.
This is good.
You know what I'm talking about? About he asks customers, "What'd you shoot the animal? Where'd you shoot it? What broadhead did you recover it? Did you get blood?" Basically, just collecting all of
Distance.
this
Where's this
data.
This guy's out of New Mexico,
arrow weight,
right?
New Mexico.
Yeah.
So he's been on
He's been on the Hunt Backcountry.
Hunt Backcountry, Exo's podcast.
Yep.
And then he's been on Hoyt's podcast.
Yep. If you guys haven't listened to those episodes yet, go listen.
It's
This is some sweet
insane
data.
information.
It is.
Yeah.
And guess what? The number one killing broadhead was?
It was mechanical.
It was a mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he doesn't really get into, he's trying to come at this as unbiased as humanly possible,
Yeah.
which is what I have to do the best I can here at the shop, selling customers product. But it was a mechanical broadhead, and that's what his data showed over a couple hundred of his customers that fall. And he's been doing this for 5 years, I think, at this point.
Yeah,
I could
he's
be
got
wrong on
thousands
that,
of data
but
points.
he
Who is
does.
this guy? What's his name?
He's the guy that owns a shop out of New Mexico. I don't
remember
remember
his-
his name off the top of my head, but
Gotcha.
it will blow your mind. And he's look, he's got it all mapped out in spreadsheets,
Mm-hmm.
and he can tell you this is the distance, the arrow weight, the poundage. Did you recover or not recover the animal, and what broadhead did you shoot?
And
It's that
where
simple.
And then did he say where did you think he hit him? He didn't get into
I
that
can't
on the
remember
podcast
that.
very much.
I think it was just mainly did you recover or not recover your
yeah,
animal?
that's probably right.
Because
Because you're relying on people to tell you the truth.
for
And
sure.
If you
And
lose
he's
an
just,
animal, the theory is people maybe can embellish that a little bit.
yeah, and it was literally just casual talk. He would take note in his head and then go plug it in, and he has, I think, at this point, like you said, thousands of data points about this.
Yeah.
And
And the
It is
number one is
still-
mechanical.
It's
With-
it's still going.
with an
Really
arrow
cool
that is
info.
400 to 430 grains.
Yep.
It's not
too
some
heavy.
500 grain arrow. You don't need that. Like, it'll blow a lot of people's mind. Probably make some people a little upset.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, but it's insane information. Like, I'll be honest, I actually, for everything that I've killed with a rifle and a bow, I actually have done that myself after I listened to those podcasts because I'm interested in my own information and data.
Yeah.
I have plotted animals I've killed with both weapon types and like where I even have where I hit it, where I found blood, how long it took me to find blood, all that stuff. I've just kind of mapped it out because it's interesting, right?
Mhm.
I think Brady from Go Hunt does that too.
It wouldn't surprise me.
You know, yeah, he's definitely into
Yeah,
it,
there's
but-
there's some of the stuff that Brady does that I've incorporated into at least my mapping systems.
Yeah.
Like,
he's a genius.
yeah, the guy's a wizard. There's a reason he's the mule deer Jesus. Just saying. So
It helps he has a long beard and long hair half
Yeah.
the time, but
Probably got a neurological issue.
I know.
yeah.
It's helping him though.
All right, we beat broadheads to death.
Yeah, we did.
We
I want
did.
to. How far are we in? We
Unless
good?
you got something.
We've been in it about an hour and 40.
Is that
but,
total?
Yep. Total.
Okay. I want to ask, and we don't have to go too deep into this, but 4mm versus 5mm.
Yeah, let's hit it. That's
What and
actually
why?
that's a great topic. Most people just we're not going to dive too terribly deep into the weeds, but most people I recommend shoot a 5mm shaft, and the reason being is the bigger the diameter of the arrow, the more surface area and easier it is. Because we'll start by this: all tuning of a bow is alignment of the power stroke of the string, as long as you respond correctly. Okay. Now, picture this: the bigger. Let's just use this for example. If anybody can see this cup,
Sorry to the listeners.
we're going to pretend that this straw is our string. It's easier for me to get the string in the middle of this big cup than it is if I'm trying to get the string in the middle of the straw, because it's a bigger target. The power stroke of the string is just alignment. We're trying to get it to hit center of that arrow every single time. That's where, a grippy, if you get a little torquey in your grip or face pressure on the string, what's going to do is it's going to kick that string out of alignment. And as you fire it, it's now going to hit your target sideways. And so for a lot of people, a 4mm shaft can be a little tricky to tune and get to shoot good. I think there's also something in there a little bit that has to do with arrow length, overall projectile length. I think there's something there, but look, I'm a dumb redneck that works at a bow shop. I have no way to test this. I just know what I know from tuning and shooting. So most people, I will always recommend shoot a 5mm. 9 times out of 10, you have better component options than you do on 4mm stuff.
Yeah.
That's true.
Components have come a long ways, without a doubt. But you're going to get more surface area for it to hit. There is forgiveness in there. You get better components. And I think there's another thing that happens when we're talking fletching setups. I can get away with a smaller vein on a bigger diameter arrow, typically, I feel like, because I'm creating more surface area. Now, when I'm talking about tuning like a big diameter target shaft, I treat it like a fixed blade broadhead, and I want to put more vein on it, especially if I'm only shooting like a Vegas face at 20 yards. I'm going to put as much vein and helical on that as I can get to repeat and shoot the same hole every time as I possibly can, because it's 20 yards.
Yeah.
I don't need to worry about parachuting or slowing, having so much drag that arrow slows down too fast. Now, that said, there's some phenomenal 4mm options out there. I've loved them since day one. There's one arrow, I'm not going to mention it. It was the very first micro diameter 4mm shaft I ever shot. I absolutely hated it. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole still to this day.
Blink twice. It was a victory of that.
It was not a victory lap. That's towards the top of my list with them. I really like those.
I like those too.
And so there's some really good ones nowadays. That's probably what I'm going to run for this antelope hunt. I'm kind of hit or miss. Like, I've gotten to play with a lot of prototype arrows. Some of them have been prototypes. Some of them have been early production arrows that I've got my hands on pretty early to test.
Yeah.
Like the Easton 5.0, when that arrow came out, I got those arrows early. Man, I got to put them through the paces. I got to take them on a hunt. Technically 2 hunts. I hunted the Utah's extended season with them. I took them on my late season bull hunt. And I know this, we're going to get into this here in just a few minutes anyway. So we're going to start working that direction.
Yeah, work into it.
Now it is anytime you get an arrow like an Easton 5.0 or a Victory HLR, it's a really lightweight grains per inch shaft.
Yeah.
Inherently with that, they're going to typically be more brittle because you need a higher modulus carbon to get that weight down. Now, I'm not super that fancy on carbon.
Yeah.
I started going to school for it. I got out of it. This is just what I know. So inherently, they're going to be a little more brittle. But I'm also a guy, I don't like a super heavy arrow. I like something a little bit faster. I have a speed in my mind that I want to hit for my setup, that I know I can shoot good. I know the trajectory. I try to keep my trajectory the same year after year, because if I need to shoot under a branch or over a branch potentially, will my arrow clear it? That's something I like to know, and to keep my trajectory the same helps me with that.
I think a lot of people don't think about that.
No.
To be honest with you.
There's
When
sometimes
they change setups,
for sure. Too fast can be a problem. Too slow can be a problem.
Yeah.
If I shot 280 foot a second for years because that's all I could reach, and I wasn't shooting 80-pound bows back then.
Is that too slow?
For me.
Okay.
I want to be 290 or faster. If I could be 300 or faster, I would be, but I'm just not blessed in the arm department. Like, I got short arms. It is what it is. I got a short draw.
You and me, same, dude.
Like,
so just really quick as we
right.
get into this, what with you trying to hit that feet per second, how many grains right now is allowing you to get there
right now
of your total arrow weight?
I could go a fuzz heavier. So if I'm 290 to 300, I need to be typically, depending on the bow, 400 to 430 grains. Jeez. If I go a little bit shorter axle bow, I can bump that arrow weight up to about 430 and still maintain about 290. Sometimes I've shot them up to 300.
Yeah.
If I really kind of juice the bow up a little bit.
Okay. I was just interested in that.
Right now I'm like 412 grains doing 295. I'm pretty happy with it. It's shooting extremely good. So
nice.
Not overly concerned about trying to get to 300. Right now I'm more concerned about a quiet projectile for this antelope hunt.
Yeah.
And I'm going to diverge a little bit.
Yeah.
Will you use that same arrow build across species?
Same arrow I took on my elk hunt.
Okay. And that's what I'm doing. I know people build different arrows, and then you're messing with more trajectory, right? You're like, in my mind, what if my mule deer arrow will clear that, but I build a heavier elk arrow, and all of a sudden I lodge it in a tree?
Yeah. There's some theories there, and people, there's plenty of people that have done that. Like, look, I'm a proponent of having 2 bows, and I can build, like, say I do have an elk hunt. Say I'm going out of state on an elk hunt somewhere. I might build a bow specifically for that, and I'm going to change my entire setup from my sight to my stabilizer setup to even down to my arrow. I might run a little bit heavier arrow, but that's because I have a bow dedicated to it. If I have one bow that needs to do everything, I got a goal in mind that I want to hit, and that is what it is. I'll build my arrow to what it needs to be to hit that speed range.
Yeah.
My elk arrow, and on what I would consider an elk bow, I can probably run a little bit heavier arrow to get it up to that speed. My mule deer stuff, typically I want a little bit longer bow, so I got to run a little bit lighter arrow because they're typically not as fast. So I'll tweak stuff. So if you got one bow and I got a speed in mind to hit, that's it. That's what I'm running.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize too when you do that, if you have one bow and you're running 2 different setups, that can affect tuning.
It can.
That can affect. I mean,
all of it.
You better
tuning.
be making sure you got a good enough sight to where you can run 2 tapes.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to tuning.
Yeah.
Because that's what's got to deliver a broadhead.
Yeah, you're already tuned into one arrow. Why would you then?
I mean, it
use
can
the
happen.
same setup to try and it just sounds like, yeah, it can happen. It just sounds like you're asking for more potential problems though.
For sure, because now you got to perform in that pressure. Did I grab the right arrow? Did I look at the right sight mark? Like if you're running dual sight tapes, did I look at the right sight tape for the right arrow? That can cause a whole conundrum of issues. Now, there's been years I've hunted with freaking a sight tape that I've made changed marks on the tape itself and written them in. And I've been stumped in the heat of the moment, like, oh, what did I need to cut off of this mark? Oh, it was this. Most people, they would blank out like, oh, it was this one. It's 60 yards. They slide it down to 60. Well, actually, you need to shoot it for 58. It's probably what they needed to shoot it for based off the tape that I had shot in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a...
Okay,
you can't have any hesitation in that moment.
You can't.
Once it's go time, it's go time.
Yep. 100%. Yeah. So then what arrow are you specifically shooting?
So
a 5mm or a 4 this year?
It's a little up in the air. Right now, I just built a fresh dozen Easton X10 Parallel Pros. So they're 4mm.
Yeah.
So what I hunted with last year, it is the most accurate arrow I've ever shot, bar none, without a doubt. When I'm firing on all cylinders and shooting how I should be, I won't shoot at the same dot at 60 yards with that arrow. I will break them. I mean, I was shooting groups at 80 yards last year, getting sight marks that I was shooting baseball size groups, like cutting fletchings off with broadheads. I was mind blown how good they shot. It was dumbfounding.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it might change. I might go back to my 5.0s. I really, really like that arrow. Easton made it a point to get them to me early. So who knows? I might still stick with that arrow, but there's a good chance for this hunt that those X10s are coming out to play.
I like that. So we're talking about the 5.0s.
Mm-hmm.
The 5.0s and the HLRs, those are like the most popular arrows right now. Like everybody,
They're the hot topics.
right? Okay.
Without a doubt. And I think, part of this hype, Easton hasn't had a 5mm lightweight shaft in their lineup ever. It's been 6mm stuff.
Yeah.
Like an H diameter. Like their Sonic 6.0. It's a freaking rad arrow. I was really considering going to that arrow this year. Then I kind of got some inside information on some stuff and said, I'm going to hold up because I got some prototype stuff coming to me in a couple weeks. So that has created, Easton coming out with that has created an amazing amount of hype right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been incredible. We cannot keep these things on the shelf. It blows my mind. The quantities I order kind of scare me. Like when I'm sitting down and I'm putting an order in, I'm like, oh, I hope I can sell all these arrows. And I turn around 2 weeks later, they're all gone. I'm like, oh, freak, I didn't order enough. Like, I could literally order that arrow by a pallet at a time. And I'd feel pretty good about that. Yeah, I'd sell them. On the flip side of that, Victory is also very aggressive in stuff they're building. And here's what I've really liked about Victory as well. A RIP TKO is a staple in here. That is, bar none, our number one selling shaft. 5.0 might creep into that a little bit this year. But if I was to pull numbers, they're probably neck to neck, and I'm willing to bet here in the next 2 months as we really get cranking, RIP TKO sales are going to skyrocket again because we have so many customers running that. It's a good weight to where I can run. If you're a guy that you want a little bit higher FOC out of it, you can achieve that and not have a super lightweight arrow out of a RIP TKO. Well, now the glory of, say, an HLR, if you're a shorter draw length guy like me or you, and we want to get our FOC up a little bit, Victory has the freaking arrow for us because for years, they had their RIP XVs.
Yeah, yeah, I remember those.
The problem is it's also, it's a lightweight shaft, and it's even lighter than what the HLR is, and so it inherently is extremely brittle.
Mm-hmm.
It is not the most durable arrow. Now, I have confidence I can go shoot an animal with it. It might break on the offside. If I hit a rib real hard, kind of quartering, and it slaps against a rib, it might break.
That makes sense.
But guess what? The animal's still dead, so I'm not overly concerned about that. But what they did at the HLR is now they went back to their cross weave and like a 1.5K or something or another. I tell you, 1K, I don't really know if I'm being honest.
1.5 on the HLRs.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, between there and the the UV arrows, all these 1K.
Yeah, and so what I think is Victory found something when they helped and they partnered up with UltraView and they came out with the 1K. They kind of found something there potentially. And they came out this 1.5K carbon weave on this arrow. I think it's phenomenal. I love the component system. They went back to their essentially like their old style stainless steel insert. That was they used to be 58 grains. Now they trimmed and went through and machined all the little grooves off and made it an even 50. Which I've been a big fan of that insert for years. If I was running a RIP TKO, I was still running the old stainless steel inserts.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Just it's shorter. I don't have the leverage that a lot of half outs do to bend. Guys hated that shock insert that came with the RIP TKOs because they were bending. But the arrow was surviving, and so I was okay with it because I could heat them up, pull them out, and put a new one in.
Yeah.
I still have a good arrow. It's not broken.
Yeah.
But if a guy bent an insert, he was pissed. If he broke the arrow, he didn't really care. Weirdest thing, but the components that are coming with them are phenomenal. I haven't got to shoot them yet. I'm going to at some point. So who knows? That might get thrown into the mix for this hunt as well. But I'm just waiting for them to get caught up so they can get me some in my hands.
Yeah.
They're selling exceptionally well here as well. It's not just all 5.0 in the shop. We're selling an absolute truckload of HLRs as well. I had another giant box show up this afternoon. Like, they're going to be gone in a couple weeks.
Yeah. So do you think this shift with like Easton and Victory coming out with these, people are going back towards a 5.0? Or are people still traditionally shooting like a 5 millimeter?
Yeah, there's
4, because
Do most people still shoot a 5 millimeter?
yeah,
there's dips and waves. 4 mil caught fire years ago when Easton came out with, like the injection, and then Victory came out with the VAP, and then the VAP TKO, and other companies had since followed suit and created 4 millimeter shafts.
yeah,
There's always been some sort of iteration of a 4 millimeter out there for target archery, but there was never good components for it. That's why it was never really popular.
for sure. Yeah,
Then, companies started making more half outs, and now we can actually put a component on the front of a 4 millimeter arrow.
Yeah.
Easton has a couple really good 4 mils. My favorite from them is still the X10. I shot a VAP, a standard VAP like you. I've shot the VAP TKOs. So there's dips and waves with this. Right now, we're seeing a lot more people come back to a 5 millimeter. And I think some of that is slight education from just flat out being a little more forgiving. Some people have actually seen that, hey, my 4 millimeters, I struggle to group good with them. Now, I tell guys, before you decide to make the change, fletchings are a heck of a lot cheaper than some arrows. Try that first. If that doesn't do it, let's get you fixed up some new arrows. That literally could be the change. Like I've Robin Hooded more RIP TKOs than I have any other arrow. They're just, and they pound. It's that little bit bigger diameter arrow. They're more forgiving. The amount of 4 millimeter stuff I've Robin Hooded is way smaller. I've only got like 2 of them. Swap back to a 5 mil. I've already Robin Hooded 3 5.0s this year. And I'm like pulling my hair out like, suck. I don't have that many of these things. So
I know where you can find some.
How about that? I think right now with the new stuff that's come out, we're seeing a big trend back towards 5 millimeter stuff. And I think a lot of it is because just like the diameter, there's dips and waves with high FOC and heavy arrow weight.
Yeah.
Guys are coming back into some lighter shafts, picking up some extra speed, and they're really liking it. And now we got 2 killer options from a couple manufacturers to make that happen.
Yeah.
So you generally hear go 4 millimeter, cut the wind a little better, maybe get a little extra weight in there, I guess, if we're still on the heavy arrow train.
Right.
I remember when we were shooting next to each other years ago, I was shooting the 5 millimeter axis and you had your VAPs, and I switched to 4 millimeters because we were shooting the same target and he was going
My penetration was better.
3 inches further. And I was like, well, I'm just going to switch to 4 millimeter. Like, that's pretty obvious to me in this setting. And switch to the VAPs. Now I'm running the Axis 4 millimeters. And I've loved them. But I can shoot. So my draw length and my arrow weight's 467, and I'm putting them out at 293 feet per second. And
Would it be nice to have a longer draw length?
It is
I'd shoot a heavy arrow if I could shoot them that fast.
Yeah,
I really would.
It's quite nice.
There's only benefits from it.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking to myself, at least in my mind, my non-engineering, nothing about aerodynamic mind, I might be able to throw these 4 millimeters at 293, but if I built the same thing in a 5 millimeter and, put it to what? 440s and throwing it closer to 3, like they're probably
How
going
heavy
to
is your arrow now?
467.
So we're going to cut 20 grains. You're going to gain roughly, what is it, a foot a second per 3 grains for quick numbers. So I'm not quick at numbers, but
No, me either.
do that math. You're going to gain I don't know, let's just call it 15 foot a second.
Per 3 grains? Okay, yeah.
Foot
So
per
now
3.
so now we're looking at 310,
Yeah.
possibly. That thing's going to get there so fast. What's it matter how much it cuts the wind?
It's a great question. I don't know.
See, that's in my mind.
Because a heavier
They're
projectile
doing the same thing.
is going to be harder to move in wind than what a lighter projectile is.
Yeah,
But does the speed make up the difference?
yeah. So my
That's
head,
an unknown. And I at some point I really hope somebody does some legitimate testing
I would
in
like to
wind
see that.
tunnels
Yeah.
to know with controlled environments is there a difference? Is speed better in the wind or is weight better in the wind?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm going to say it's weight more so than speed. And so for your setup, yeah, I wouldn't change a dang thing.
No, I
Like,
don't plan on it, but I'm just
293 foot a second with a 460 grain arrow, man.
It's
That's a
crazy.
hammer of a setup.
yeah. I mean, other than the elk I shoulder punched, I've passed through everything.
How about that shoulder?
It is you're not getting through.
There's one constant in this. That's that damn shoulder.
That
And
shoulder.
that was a fixed blade.
Yeah.
So I didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
There's nothing winning.
nothing beats an elk shoulder.
Nothing to break in that.
Him and I have talked about this, like, because I won those HLRs here.
Mhm.
I have a hard time being like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to a 5 mm because I like the diameter of a 4.
Yeah.
I like the penetration I get. And maybe it's like a psychological thing of like,
When
I
you
don't like
shoot
how
'em in
fat they are.
Yeah, when you're shooting them in a target and the 4 mm is obviously going in deeper, you're like,
It's
this
hard for me
must
to switch.
correlate on an animal.
For sure. You would definitely. Look, it might. But it's hard for me to think about that when a broadhead's opening all this gigantic
yeah,
entry hole
that's
up.
a good point.
If I put a 2-inch broadhead on the front of it, who cares what the size of my freaking arrow is?
Yeah.
Tim Gillingham, now I could be wrong on this. To my knowledge, his furthest bow kill is still with a gold tip X cutter. I was on an antelope. It was a far, far shot. Gillingham can shoot. And don't sleep on it. Tim can shoot. And the reason, I think it was probably an Idaho hunt because he had to shoot a fixed blade. And the reason he went to an X cutter, gold tip made an insert that goes inside of it that he can thread a broadhead into. Well, it goes back to arrow diameter. What's more forgiving? If I got to steer this flipping flicks blade, he's got like a 33.5-inch strong length. The guy's gigantic. Walking with him in airports, I have to damn near run to keep up with the guy. Like, he's huge. Okay. So, and the guy shoots a full overdraw on his bows. If he's got to get this fixed blade to tune, put on a bigger diameter arrow with some extra fletching on the back, he freaking laced an antelope at an extreme distance with a bow. So, what's the right or wrong answer here, okay? Is it a diameter thing? There's forgiveness there.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? Look, I get it. I like the feel of a 4 mil in my hand. It feels and looks sexier than what a 5 mil does, or a
totally
bigger
does.
diameter arrow.
I will say, like those inserts on a 5 mm look cleaner than a half out on a 4.
They
For
do.
sure.
For
But
sure.
Those Easton match half outs are looking pretty good.
They are. They're sharp, especially when you get that 75 and you got the
That's what I'm
stainless on the
using.
front.
Yep. Yeah.
They're-
That's what I got too.
they're
on
good
my
looking.
They
extends.
match up to those
Mhm.
match field points.
Yeah.
We're
That's
slowly
sharp.
converting Britt over here from 4 fletch
Arrow
straight
geeks
to
over
like
here.
helicals. We're gonna get you away from those fat 6 mm arrows that you probably shoot.
We're just barely scratching the surface on
I will
arrows.
Yeah, we're not
fletch,
even
cut,
close.
build my own arrows, and I know if I start reloading my rifles, I'm going to be in
big trouble.
big trouble. My wife will not see me.
I was about
on
to say, I hope your
weekends.
wife likes watching movies by herself.
She does. She does.
She doesn't have Tyler asking questions over her.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that guy's name again? Well, I know we're kind of like getting a
Yeah,
little
we're
long
probably about there.
Earlier, Mark and I were talking about Mark's hot take in the industry.
Oh boy.
So, Mark, give us your hot take in the hunting
I'm
industry.
gonna really.
Hunting or archery?
This is just
This correlates
hunting.
hunting,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's more hunting than
All right.
anything. Like, I'm going to preface it and just say, like, look, being a hunter, we're taking a life. It is what it is. I'm going to say that probably 100 more times throughout this, but it is a serious thing. But what absolutely just grinds my gears, and to each person, everybody has their own feelings with it, and how you go through it, to each their own. I'm good with it. But quit hating on the guys that are just full on grip and grin when they kill an animal. Like, that drives me crazy. I'm not the guy. I'm not going to sit and take this setup picture where I'm staring down at my animal and petting him and feeling all this remorse. That is not me. I'm 100% a grip and grinner. I've worked my tail off to kill him. And at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. I'm taking a life. But the more animals I harvest, the less I feel the emotion, because this is what I want to do. This is the end goal. I have to kill them. If I want the meat and I want to take the trophy home, I have to take a life. So just quit hating on those guys, because we're taking a life. It's a serious subject.
Man.
Well,
but
I think like the grip and grin. I mean, I don't think that's. I don't see that as being like any way of being disrespectful to the animal, right?
See, neither do I.
You know, and I've always heard
if you're fake crying over it though.
Oh,
Drives,
yeah. If you're
grinds
like,
my gears.
yeah,
That's the word. Fake crying over your animal grinds my gears.
Yeah, fake
I've hunted
crying.
with plenty of emotional people.
Yeah.
Cry, do your thing.
Nothing
I'm
wrong.
good with it, man.
Nothing wrong with
I
emotions.
respect that. Quit faking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 2025. You can cry. That's fine.
Yeah.
Don't force it.
if you cry, cool. If you don't cry, cool.
Also cool.
I've always heard, and well, I guess I haven't always heard, but I heard once a hunter that I really respect, and he said, you know, make no mistake, this is a blood sport. We're here to kill an animal, you know, do it as quickly and ethically as possible.
sure.
And, you know, some people like get weirded out by the mega meat commercials and stuff. They're just like just over the top with blood
Yeah.
and all this stuff. And it's like, as a hunter though, like that's what you want. You want to see all that blood and
All the carnage and damage.
yeah.
Mhm.
And, but somehow in a respectful way, like, cause we just don't want the animal to suffer.
For sure.
And I've always heard if you stop feeling sorrow for taking an animal's life, then that's when you need to hang up your bow.
For sure.
So, I mean, I think there always should be a level of sorrow and respect for what we do, but yeah, like the fake crying and all that stuff. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I've ever met anybody that was fake crying, I guess. And maybe for social media now you're seeing it more.
And I think that's what it is. Social media has brought a whole new age to hunting. And I got into it before it was a thing, and now I've watched it progress. And I mean, look, that's my age generation. That's social media is here. And that's what at some point in my life, that's what we grew up with. And it is what it is. But man, it changes people. Like, you know, as a kid, I was a pretty emotional hunter. Like, if I made a bad shot and I had to walk up and I had to shoot a deer again, and I'm watching it suffer, yeah, I was a pretty emotional kid. There was once I couldn't do it. Somebody else had to do it for me.
yeah, that gets some people out of hunting.
It does.
You
It
know,
does.
like
Yeah, it does.
it's a tough thing. But I mean, back to the grip and grin part though, like I just think so many people that are not hunters that, you know, they're seeing these grip and grin photos on social media and whatever, and they're just like,
Just an animal.
how
murderer.
could you? You just murder an animal and you're happy about it and all this stuff. It's like, do you know the work
No, they don't.
and the time? And to be honest, like I don't think anybody loves or cares about these animals more than the hunters.
No one.
Like,
Not a
I
person
mean,
they never
out
will.
there.
Yeah, it's just, and it's a very surreal and conflicted moment in a way, right? Like you killed something that you love and respect and spend your time thinking and dreaming about, but then, you know, you put in so much hard work and effort. Like, how can you not be like just
100%.
shaking and excited, throwing your bow excited,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know about throwing your bow excited. Like, we have to pay for ours, so ours get set down nice and neat.
Yeah, not all
Mark's
of us
over
work
here just
at an
chucking
archery
brand new
shop
hoy,
here,
you know?
Mark.
no, like it, but it's true. There's not another group of people out there that cares more about these animals than hunters. There's a buck I was watching right before their animals were starting to drop. I looked forward to my drive home to see that buck every single night. And if he wasn't there, grinding my gears, like, where is he? I love watching them. It's just crazy to sit sit on top of a hill and look through your binoculars and just sit and watch them. Watch what they do and their behaviors and how they act. But yeah, I'm that person. When I cut one loose and I harvest an animal, I'm 100% shouting.
I love it.
I get jacked.
I love that.
Then there's the other side of it. It's like where, trail cams and, we go up and we name all these bucks, right?
Yeah.
We've been watching these bucks for years. Like we have I don't know how to say it, but like a relationship with these animals that we're then going to go and harvest.
It's a little bit of a stalking relationship, but we have one.
Quite literally.
But there is so much more. I mean, I've killed deer. I have a backstory with this, history with these animals. And so I don't know, it's just different than, we're not just killing them.
No.
And there's a lot of respect, and there should be a lot of respect that happens along.
For sure.
The-
I mean,
the whole process.
Look at Jeremiah's sheep hunt. That is the first animal in my entire life I've ever walked up on and teared up on. And I did. It was the camaraderie of the people that were on the hunt there with us. It was all of the time and effort spent leading up to the hunt, the excitement. Like, I've never been able to walk up and touch a desert sheep.
Yeah.
Most people in their life never will.
Nope.
And it did. I kind of sat back on a rock. I didn't even want to walk up and touch it when I first got there the next morning. I just sat back on this rock staring at it. And we all kind of did the same thing. We're all just sitting around and talking about the trip and the shot, the stalk, all of it. And you can't help but sit there and feel some remorse. Like, you look around it, man, it looked like a crime scene. Because he didn't go too far, and he started losing pressure. He couldn't go very far at that point. So yeah, it's pretty gruesome when you sit back and you think about what just happened, and you can't help but feel something there. But it's just a different experience that not a lot of people know unless you're a hunter.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Only hunters really have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just, I would say that to anybody. It's just like, man, everyone can talk trash and everyone can be a hater, and you know what? Bring them on. Like, if you have 10 haters, get you 20 more. What is that? Grant Cardone
just
says
get
that.
in line, buddy.
But at the same time, it's like, you have no idea what went into that whole process and all the work and effort that happened to make that moment. But I will say, that buck that you killed in the Book Cliffs, like, did you have another hunt that you had that was better than that? Or like, for me, it's like,
Dude,
the story and the work, like the harder the hunt for me, the bigger and better the reward. Like, that moment is so much more intense because you worked so hard for it,
Yeah. I mean, I lost a couple animals this past year on that late season elk hunt.
Yeah.
Man, I lost a bull. I freaking didn't sleep an ounce that night. Like, yeah, I got a wounded animal running around these hills that I didn't do my part on. There needed to be some luck involved with what went on. I did everything right that I could in that scenario that I was presented. I took the shot. I ended up losing him. Judging off of where, all of the knowledge that I have, the bull's still alive, should be. I've been back down, haven't turned him up. We never turned him up the remainder of the hunt. He could have just bedded up somewhere and just laid there. He's not moving until he feels better. I mean, look, that Book Cliff steer. Sucker was up on his feet feeding like nothing happened to him a day later.
Yeah.
Like, what these things can
crazy.
endure is pretty wild. But we just try to do the best we can.
100%. Yeah. Well, the last, just to kind of wrap up our show, it's called the Vitals Podcast. So we want to ask you, what is your one vital piece of advice for somebody just getting into archery?
There's a lot of information out there. It's easy to get overwhelmed with it, especially with archery. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion about everything, but
Archery seems to be like
archery seems
way worse
to be at the top of it. And in everything that I've done or still do in life, archery seems to be pretty high up there on that list. If I was to tell anybody anything, find yourself a good pro shop, find somebody there you trust, and get to know them, because they're going to take care of you. They're going to help guide you along. You need somebody to help mentor you through this. And, it doesn't have to be a father or anybody like that. Just find somebody you can get close with, or a group of people that can help you through archery, because there's a lot of bad information out there. And it's really, really easy to get down these rabbit holes and create bad habits and they're extremely difficult to correct.
Yeah.
And if you can get set up and set out on the right foot, it's going to help you immensely in the sport. And, at the end of the day, archery for all of us isn't just something we use as a hunting tool. Archery is 365, 24/7. This is what we do. The fact that I get to go bow hunting on top of it is just that much better. So find somebody to help mentor you that you can get real close with and get you started out right.
Yeah,
Solid.
if I could go back, oh man,
Never would have gone to Cabela's.
That's really what?
Never would have gone to Cabela's.
Never. No, that's a really good. That's a solid piece of advice though, because I think about that all the time. It's like, man, how many bad habits do I still have?
Yeah.
Right, that they're just second nature now. It's like I wish I could have just started out 100% the correct. So
For sure.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Shameless plug. I bought my bow back here, my first bow here back in 2015.
I still got you beat, buddy. What about you, Tyler?
My first bow was in 2000.
Well, first bow was 2005 for me,
That's fair.
but I bought here was 2015.
Oh, the first. Yeah, well, it's going to be worse than that. The first bow I bought from you guys was the Venom Pro. When that came out? 21, 22?
Ventum Pro would have been 22 because 21 was the standard Ventum, and that's when
Yeah.
I had my deer tag.
Yeah.
Yep. First
Yeah,
bow.
it's
First
pretty
bow I
bad.
ever bought was 2015.
Pretty bad that I know bow model years based off of what tag I had that year. So I've been pretty
Yeah.
lucky.
That is lucky.
I was just gonna say that kind of pays tribute to like find somebody to mentor you, because like had I not, my neighbor, I got my first bow when I was 18 and got lucky and killed something with it, but like no one ever taught me anything.
Yeah.
When I came in here, dude, I'll say this about Wilde Arrow. They have the Wilde Arrow experience. You come in, you guys set up everything on someone's bow and walk them through everything. Had I not done that, man, I probably would have been the guy at Cabela's that Tyler was making fun of because he went and asked, all disc Cabela's, like, they're terrible. Don't go buy a bow there.
No. And if it's your only chance, buy a bow and then go to YouTube.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
You'll get a
there's-
better learning experience.
Levi Morgan puts out some killer
Yes, he
stuff.
does.
They do.
John Dudley puts out some killer stuff. There's good information. You just got to weed through all the bad information.
Yep.
And it's hard to know where that is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I didn't buy my first bow from Wilde Arrow, but Jeremiah is the first person that ever touched a bow that I owned. And I've been with that guy ever since. That's 2008.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
now I'm freaking working for the guy. It's pretty wild.
Took a wild turn for you.
It sure did. But
Pretty wild with an E.
yeah, check that out.
Yeah. Check them out at Centerville, Utah. What's your address?
470 North, 1100 West in Centerville.
Okay. Come check them out, guys.
Right in between I-15 and Legacy. Real easy to get to.
It works out pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
It's also really close to Maverick and In-N-Out, so you get a burger and a drink.
Yeah.
That's true.
Or snack or gas.
All right. Well, thanks, Mark. We appreciate you, one, coming on, and two, hosting us.
Yeah.
We like the shop. Glad we could do it here.
No, for sure, guys. I appreciate you having me on. It was good.
Sounds good.
That was awesome knowledge. Appreciate you, man.
For sure.